Yeah, let's keep playing the game, shall we? Let's get back into it. Where are we here? I think I was cleaning up after after slaughtering all of the leadership in Wampoa. I feel like that's not actually going to go super well for them, for me, for anybody really. Lots of problems. But hey, at least I got paid. At least I got paid. We do still need to go talk to Max Law, as that hasn't happened yet. And I'm... like, there's no way that conversation goes well, but I still want to have that conversation. I still want to see what they're going to do. Also, I think we spoke to our boy Ractor, but if the ghoul is out here, we should talk to the ghoul. Yeah, here he is. How'd I do all that? Oh, so I got on the ghoul's side, and then I tried to convince them that, hey, they shouldn't have done the thing that they did, and I didn't have quite enough evidence to convince them that I was in the right, and so we had to fight about it. Lurking and making lunch? Fair enough. Have a good lurk. Yeah, we haven't talked to Gaichu yet, post shenanigans, and I'm not sure if we've talked to Ractor yet. I think I went upstairs and talked to everybody upstairs. Let's double check that we've talked to everybody upstairs. I know I talked to Duncan, and I'm pretty sure I talked to both Gobbet and Isabel. Like, if I go over here, she's not gonna have anything to say to me, I guess. Yes, I definitely got him to come back with me. You haven't accepted the job offer I sent you. Is there a problem? I haven't gotten around to reading it. Okay. Oh. Well, in that case, please read it soon. I really think that this job is a good idea. It won't have any noticeable impact on the work that we're doing for Kindly Chang. Alright, cool. Yes. Isabel gave me a personal request. So we now have a character-driven side quest, which I probably want to do sooner rather than later. Regular plot can wait. Let's talk about Isabel. That sounds like a good idea. But we should finish doing the post-event cleanup. So let's finish talking to everybody. I don't think we've talked to Ractor yet, so let's talk to Ractor. Ractor's shop is sweltering hot, even more so than it was the first time you stepped inside. The whir of actuators accompanies the fine motions of the manipulator arms that hang from the ceiling. They're turning an object over and over in their articulated hands, soldering wires and hammering rivets. Ah, my friend. Welcome back. Ractor touch-types a series of commands into his bracer. The arms relax into an idle posture. He smiles at you, a cigarette dangling from his lip. There, that's better. Now, what can I do for you? Hey, getting along with the other members of the team? Well, let's start with any thoughts about that last run. Hey, Inkling, how's it going? The Wampoans may be a socially maladjusted group, but I find their philosophies quite compelling. I suspect that there is a fair amount of overlap between their vision of the future and my own. A pity that you killed their elders. I would have liked to speak with them at length on these matters. But I understand why you made your decision, of course. Our new companion made his case rather forcefully. It would send a bad message to ignore his cries for vengeance. Now, what else would you have of me? Speaking of new teammate, how are you getting along with the team? Perfectly well, thank you. They all seem competent enough. There haven't been any major personality conflicts so far. He rubs his chin thoughtfully. So long as they continue performing to an acceptable standard, I can see no reason not to continue our arrangement. It's good to run with the team again. Alright. Okay, well, I'm glad they're competent, but like, what do you think of them? They are fine, I suppose. All fine. Gobbet is quite charming, Isabel keeps to herself, and Duncan is doing his best in a bad situation. Gaichu is quite intriguing. I'm very pleased that the team is willing to overlook his unfortunate condition. Many in the shadows wouldn't be. There is a momentary pause. He shrugs. That, I'm afraid, is all that I have to say. Apologies if you were looking for more. Fair enough. You're still something of a mystery to the group, Ractor. Ah, we can turn this into personal questions. I love it. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
No, I don't mind. Not at all.
He takes a drag on his cigarette, then slowly releases the smoke.
I can't promise that my answers will satisfy your curiosity, of course. But you may certainly ask.
How did you get here? Did you emigrate directly from Russia to Hong Kong?
No. Between my years in Nizhny Novgorod and my time here in Heoi, I spent a year in the free city of Berlin.
Whoa! Ractor was in Berlin! Okay, so maybe there is a connection to the previous game.
That was where I got my feet wet as a Shadowrunner, you see. Ran with a team of anarchists for a time, and learned the ropes of the occupation under their tutelage.
What can you tell me about that team?
Yeah, a good group of people. Disorganized, to be sure, but capable. Sadly, we are no longer on the best of terms.
What happened?
An opportunity arose, and I seized it. In so doing, I left Berlin for Hong Kong, and I did so without much advance notice. My absence made life difficult for them, and they blamed me for their hardships.
I mean, this is probably accurate. Maybe this is the thing where I kind of like, I would not have done the thing that you did, as opposed to constantly just agreeing with everybody. I don't know, I've kind of made a point of, like, just affirming everybody else in every conversation I've had so far, but, like, this is something I kind of have an opinion on. If you cut and run on me, I'd be pissed too.
That would be your prerogative, and while I suppose that I can see your point, I haven't lost any sleep over my decision. I did what I had to do. How my former teammates chose to react to my sudden departure is their problem, not mine.
He looks away, a wistful expression on his face. Koshei scrapes the ground with his forelegs, its sensors fixed firmly on you. Excuse me? Your dog is threatening me?
Ultimately, I would say that my time in Berlin was quite educational. Different from my earlier life in Russia, to be sure. As I said, the experience was invaluable. Ultimately, though, AI is probably better suited to my sensibilities.
In what way? 'Cause, this place is kind of a dump.
Life in Hong Kong is more structured than it is in Berlin. Things make sense here in a way that the Flux State didn't.
He taps a finger to his temple.
I have an orderly mind. Everything in its place, neatly labeled and filed away. This approach is what allows me to make sense of the world. To say that the people I knew in Berlin thought differently would be an understatement.
Okay. So now we know about his move, but we don't know why he made it. What was Russia like for you? Why did you leave Russia? These feel like similar questions, but I think the answers are going to be different. So I think why he moved is probably the bigger thing. He holds his tongue for a moment, considering.
When we first met, I told you that I parted ways with Grishin Aviakor under unfortunate circumstances, yes?
You did in fact say that.
Those same circumstances led me to Berlin. I was wronged, and I would not find recourse in Russia.
He sighs.
I suppose that there's no sense in being vague. I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it.
I always want to hear the story.
You may remember the self-repair system I mentioned the first time we met. The module that would allow Koshei, or any sufficiently equipped drone, to repair itself. I told you that my research had been lost. It was not strictly true. It was stolen by a pair of colleagues who I had long considered friends. They were researchers from my old lab. They turned against me, stole our work, in truth my work, and defected. They betrayed you, huh?
Yes.
Driven by desperation, no doubt, and ambition. They had always been fixated on getting out of Russia. Grishinaviakor was a nationalized corporation. They would never get rich as cogs in a government-controlled machine. It's probably fair. In our project, they saw their key to breaking away and earning their fortunes. Never mind the fact that I was opposed to the idea. And so they took what was mine and left me with nothing.
And so you followed them, I take it.
Yes, the two had long spoken about moving to Berlin. Such was true of a great many academics in Russia. My homeland is a bureaucratic dictatorship, you see. There is little personal freedom, and there are many rules to be followed. As you might imagine, the stable anarchy of the flux state can be an alluring concept to those who live under totalitarian rule. Berlin is much romanticized back home.
Makes sense. Yeah, I could understand. Okay, so without telling him what he assumed, let's just agree.
Oh, the flux state has rules, my friend. They aren't codified, but they most certainly exist. Should you ever travel there, you'll want to remember that. But I digress. In the hunt for my traitorous colleagues, Berlin was my only lead. I decided that I would travel there. At best, I would find them. And at worst, it would be a good place to rebuild my life.
There's a squeal of tortured metal as Koshei drags its claws over the iron grating that covers the floor. Excuse me? What are you doing, dog? Rachter glances down at the drone and it goes calm. He takes a deep breath and continues. What is the dog reacting to? This is like a really weird interlude.
It took me over a year to locate my former friends. It was a long, painstaking search, but I was nothing if not determined. I finally found evidence that they'd used my research as a bargaining chip to secure positions at Ares, and that they were here in Hong Kong.
Badass and very unsettling. Yeah, I love him for it. He definitely gives me like big vampire vibes, and that sounds like a person that I want on my side, not anybody else's side. Hey Mersh, how's it going? Yeah, I'm completely on board with Rachter. I think it's cool. So you came here to Haoi? He nods.
I picked up and left the next day.
Yo, Mersh! Thank you so much for the 5 years of support. Damn. Has been a while. Look at all those months. Yeah, no kidding. It's a lot of months. Big round numbers. Everybody loves big round numbers. I love big round numbers too. But yeah, welcome back to the adventuring party. Happy to have you around. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Where were we here? Welcome to the club, says Senna. Hornet agrees. Hornet welcomes you too. I said what I said, Inkling. Alright, Rachter.
I picked up and left the next day. My old team was upset, to be sure. Lucky Strike, in particular, howled for my blood. But I know where my priorities lie. And so here I am. And here they are. And soon, I will be ready to act. I really must thank you for inviting me into the team. Your abilities will be invaluable when the time finally comes to make my move. Assuming, of course, that you'd be willing to help?
You were waiting for this, weren't you? Yeah, when you're ready, just say the word.
Thank you, my friend. But this is a discussion for another day. We aren't ready to hit an Ares facility yet. There is more intelligence to gather before we make our move anyway. When the time comes, I will let you know.
I want to keep going about this. This is good info. Tell me more about yourself, Rachter. The stolen research means more to you than the money, doesn't it? He nods his head.
Yes, yes, much more. It was my life's work, and it was important. Reducing it to a bargaining chip was a deadly insult, both to me and to all those who would benefit from my work.
You say that with almost like I don't want to downplay things, but he's like very excited about this thing. You have new emote art? Ooh, right on. Religious. He snorts.
Religious? No. Religious superstition is a relic of the past. I welcome the future. A future that my research was intended to help usher in.
Superstition? You know, this is actually a good point. Like, I want to know about the future, but also, like, literally magic. He wags his finger at you.
You are putting words in my mouth. I never dismissed magic as superstition. Magic is an observable, measurable phenomenon, as real as the laws of thermodynamics. What I said was that religion, the classical model, is rooted in superstition. I stand by that analysis. Now tell me, my friend, are you familiar with the concept of transhumanism? The transformation of humanity as a species by technological means.
I do not have academic etiquette. If I'm not mistaken, we're already living in a transhumanist present. Are we? I feel like everything about the present is as bad as it is because of the humans. I wouldn't say that we're transhumanist here, even if we do have cyborgs around. Transhumanism. Never heard of her.
Ah, you should familiarize yourself with it then. It's an old term, rooted in what was considered to be science fiction back when it was coined. But it also accurately describes the state of the sixth world today. The sciences of cyber technology, biotechnology, and genomics have fundamentally altered the trajectory of metahumanity as a species. Through the elective modification and improvement of our own physiology, we can tailor ourselves for niches that were previously inhospitable to metahuman life. By exerting our will over the composition of our own bodies, we have conquered the mindless trial and error of biological evolution. For the first time in history, there is a God, and he is us.
Okay, well, you're laying it on a little thick there, comrade. Nah. I'll let Ractor wax eloquent if he wants to. Alright, got it. We're living in a transhumanist world.
In such a future, the capacity for unlimited self-repair would be indistinguishable from immortality. You can see, then, why the theft of my research came as such a blow. My former colleagues hadn't just stolen from me. They'd taken my contribution to the future of our species and reduced it to a bargaining chip.
Yeah, alright. I'd be upset too.
I was more than upset, my friend. I was livid. I still am. But all will be made right in the fullness of time. I am nothing if not a patient man. I can wait.
Alright, tell me about him.
Today, they call themselves Taylor and Hardingham.
He speaks through clenched teeth. Koshé drags a claw across the ground, and you can hear the squeal of metal on metal. Koshé really seems to be reflecting his attitude more often than not. Makes me wonder what that deal was with the random, like, Koshé dragging claws along metal grates, and then Ractor being like, hey, knock it off. In Shadowrun, humans are actually on the minor side of threats to the humanity and biosphere of the world. That's fair. That's fair. I guess if we're talking about, like, humans specifically, as opposed to meta-humans or other intelligent beings that coexist in the same spaces.
Those aren't their real names, obviously. They shed their former identities when they left their old lives behind.
And these two are in Hong Kong now?
Yes. Working for Ares Asia Holdings, ensconced away in one of their enclaves here. I am not certain which one yet, but I'm narrowing it down.
He idly brushes Koshei's armored chassis with the fingertips of his right hand.
Oh, how wonderful it will be to find them. What a reunion we will have.
Damn! Sound like a little bit more villainous while petting your robot dog, please? What was it like growing up in the Russian Republic? In the entire of meta-humanity? Much worse things out there approaching from the metaplanes. Bugs are just one of such things. Yeah, but all of them require, like, metahumans to buy in, right? It's pure venal greed, lust for power, that causes metahumans to open those doors. Like, if it weren't for people summoning bugs to the plane or whatever, they wouldn't have as much of a handhold. You know, if it weren't for, like, willing pawns, dragons wouldn't be able to do nearly as much to the world. Like, all of this stuff is just people being people and allowing bad things to happen because they think it'll benefit them personally. I mean, admittedly, I don't know that much about the world, right? My experience with Shadowrun is purely the first two games. So if there's other stuff out there that is in the lore, but not stuff I'm familiar with, then, like, I'm willing to admit that I don't have full knowledge of the plane. Other things just need active manosphere. Oh, like the fact that it's the sixth world or whatever it is, the sixth time that magic has come back to the world. Okay, I'll believe that. Alright, where are we? We was talking about Russia.
Tumultuous, as you might expect. You probably aren't old enough to remember the Euro Wars, but I am.
Sure, I know bits and pieces of the history, but I didn't live through it.
Ah, well, the wars were formative experiences for Russians of my generation. Not traumatic, per se. Certainly not as they were for the Germans, Finns, and Poles. But important, nonetheless. My country was the instigator of the first Euro War back in '30. I remember the rhetoric, the hardships of living under a wartime economy, the rampant xenophobia that took hold. I remember how we all cheered when our forces invaded Poland. 3 months. That was all that it took for our military to crush what meager resistance the Poles could bring to bear. It was quite the source of national pride at home.
Yeah, alright, that checks out on multiple levels.
I remember our drive into Germany, the desperate bid to reclaim the eastern portion of that country for ourselves. Just think about the symbolic significance of such an act. An audacious move, to be sure, but Secretary Kropunin was determined to make history.
Audacious move. No. Don't poke fun at his word choice. The same way that Stalin was.
I believe that Kropunin was more concerned with the opinions of his own people than he was with his place in the history books. And in truth, I cannot fault him for this. For the 4 months that the war lasted, he did bring the country together. But alas, the Night Wraith incident put an end to our march and sent our forces into full retreat.
Night Wraith? The hell is that?
British-made fighter bombers with stealth capabilities. Very state-of-the-art, very powerful. At least, that's what they were purported to have been. Nobody has ever come forward to accept responsibility for the attack. Regardless of who was behind it, the result was the same. Wave upon wave of bombings that targeted our forces and the Germans alike, coupled with the assassinations of dozens of military leaders. A devastating, synchronized operation, expertly carried over the course of a single night. At home, viral attacks shut down our power grids. Hundreds of thousands of Russian homes found themselves without heat or electricity in the dead of winter.
Koshei scuttles forward, allowing the rigger to rest his hand on the sloping metal of its chassis. Ractor stares at his own deformed reflection in the metal of the drone's body, a sad smile on his face. I remember huddling under a mountain of cheap blankets that my mother had piled up on my bed. They did little to protect me from the cold, but they were something that I could hang on to. Something tangible that I associated with warmth and comfort and home. There, as my body trembled and I watched my breath frost over, a horrible truth descended upon me. We had caused this. We were the villains of the First Euro War. For the first time I came face to face with what Kropunin's folly had brought us. And there, under that ridiculous heap of rags, I came to realize what would surely come to pass. The world thought of us as villains, so they would treat us like villains. We would be pariahs on the international stage, crippled by retributive sanctions. We would never live down the shame. He wipes his hands as if cleaning them. A wry smile spreads across his face. And then the AFA invaded Greece and Spain, sparking off Euro War II. We redeployed our troops to help repel them, and all was made right again. That easy, huh? About? Oh, we were still regarded with suspicion, of course. But Europe might have fallen if it hadn't been for our help. In essence, we took back our reputation at gunpoint. Not an ideal solution, but it worked. Within the span of 4 months, we Russians had gone from nobodies to a terrible threat to unlikely saviors in the eyes of the Western world. Studying exactly how this happened has taught me a great deal about human psychology and social dynamics. Human psychology? That's an interesting turn of a phrase. He laughs. Ah, just a figure of speech, my friend. Nothing more. Nothing more. Ah! Very human here. Absolutely human. Definitely not a human. Now, shall we talk about something else? Surely there are more interesting and relevant things to discuss. What is the AFA? He takes a drag on his cigarette. Ah, yes, I suppose that you wouldn't know. They were only active for the years surrounding the conflict, after all. The AFA was the Alliance for Allah, serving under Mullah Sayyid Jazrir, a coalition of right-wing Middle Eastern governments that assembled after the failure, some say sabotage, of the United Islamic Conference. They looked to a weakened Europe and saw an opportunity, one that my country was entirely responsible for creating. Aha! So the truth will out. Okay. So this is painting a picture of not exactly a world war, but like the kind of things that spark world wars. You know, lots of like big movements, countries invading other countries, alliances being called into question. And then the Middle East shows up and is like, we want in. So they launched a surprise attack. Yes. But in hindsight, we should have foreseen it. Ultimately, the AFA did what any hawkish power would have done in their position. I cannot fault them for taking advantage of Europe's weakened state. Given their circumstances, they would have been foolish not to. Well, I take it you beat them. Haven't heard of them, so I imagine things didn't end well. No, my friend. They did not win. The AFA folded in 37 after Jazrir's assassination. A lucky thing for us, too. The body count could have been a great deal higher. In the years that they were active, the AFA gave us a hell of a fight. I see. Well, do I have more questions? I don't think I have more questions. Yeah, I think we're good. Be well, my friend. Come back anytime. Cool. So, we got a history lesson. And, what is this bug? Like, this is so distracting? This random bug crawling across the storage room? Ha! Alright, ignore the bug. Talk to Gaichu. The storage room that functions as Gaichu's cabin is a cramped, overheated mess. Piles of old ship parts share space with tarnished cookware, flats of instant noodles, a collection of cast-off clothes, and reams of diagnostic manuals for obsolete computer hardware. To top it all off, there's barely any light whatsoever. All of the bulbs in this room are missing. Gaichu is busily moving boxes around, apparently in an effort to carve out some personal space amid the junk that he shares his cabin with. As you enter, he cocks his head and turns around. So, Gaichu, how are we doing?
Welcome to my sanctuary, the Liver. I apologize for the lack of light, but as I did not need it, Gobbet took the bulbs for use elsewhere.
Gaichu puts down the box that he's in the process of moving and politely bows his head toward you.
How can I be of assistance?
Did I do anything, like, weird and unique for his voice before? I don't even remember. I remember that he was low, but I don't remember if I did anything else with it. Wanted to see how are you settling in? Gaichu rolls his shoulders in a diffident shrug.
I live. I am among those who can make use of my... I am among those who can make use of...
Oh, okay, no, I get it.
I am among those who can make use of my services, and who are not attempting to claim the bounty on my head. Is that not enough for now?
How do you feel about that last run? Gaichu shrugs, blinking a few times in surprise.
What do you expect me to say? You have allowed me to live, invited me into your home, or boat, if you prefer, and have given me a means to earn an income and use my particular set of talents. I am pleased with this. In addition, you allowed me to extract vengeance on those that had wronged me. To me, that says that you understand the nature of reputation and fear in the shadows. I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, let's talk about the ghoul business.
As you wish. You are my benefactor, and as such I yield to you. Ask then. I will do my best to answer.
But ghouls were all animalistic predators.
Most are. In the vast majority of cases, the infected become the crazed predators everyone sees on the nightly Trid news.
Gaichu bares his jagged teeth, running his tongue across the tips of them as he tilts his head back.
I bear the physical signs, but not the mental ones. A few escape that fate.
I did get the creepy samurai dude, yeah. He's, we had a conversation. We had a chat. We chatted. And, I came down on his side, and that did not go well for the Wampoan elders, but, that's not my business. Still got paid.
There are others, though. In Africa, there is a nation of ghouls. It is called Asamando. The intelligent ghouls in Asamando care for the ones whose higher faculties have been ravaged by the disease. Still, it is not a safe place to visit.
What makes you different?
I am willful. Those with a strong sense of self, a chip on their shoulder, if you will, are always those that survive the infection with their minds intact. I suppose I am selfish enough to have retained a passable semblance of my former humanity.
Seems like your condition has stabilized?
For now it has. I will not suddenly become a ravenous beast lurking in the hold of your ship. At least, no more so than I already am.
Gaichu bares his teeth in a wry grin, dipping his head a little. Tell me about your armor, buddy. Gaichu nods, growling his assent.
That is correct. It is the armor worn by the elite soldiers of the Renraku corporate military, the Red Samurai.
I know a thing or two about corporations, apparently. Those are the Renraku Special Forces?
Correct. The most elite soldiers that the corporation can muster.
trained to the highest and most exacting level possible. They are assigned only the most dangerous, difficult, and important missions, things other units would balk at even discussing. Armor's a rare thing for a Shadowrunner to have. That is true. It is considerably less rare for a red samurai to have a suit of it, however. Even if he goes rogue. You're a red samurai? Indeed. For the entirety of my adult life, I was a member of the Renraku military. Specifically the Red Samurai. That changed relatively recently. I feel the reasons are abundantly clear. I mean, yeah, I suppose becoming a ghoul probably would change how people think about you. Hence, I still possess my armor, my sword, my training. They have served me well in both my previous life and in this one. Did you grow up in a corporation? Yes, in Keihanshin, the Kyoto-Osaka-Kobe sprawl. It is less populated than Neo-Tokyo, but not by much. I grew up in East Kobe, where my father was posted in a Renraku complex. Gaichi roots around in a nearby box, running his fingertips over several chips before deciding on one. He slots it into his PDA, and a Trid photo flickers to life in the space between you. Oh. A young man, obviously Gaichu, leans against a railing which overlooks a sprawling harbor complex of skyscrapers and cranes. His school uniform is ripped, and the beginnings of a black eye are forming. Abrasions cover his knuckles, and blood dots his pants. Despite that, he's grinning like he's just won the lottery. Vibrant. Fierce. You look like you haven't changed much. Yeah, okay. Renraku's a Japanocorp. They're very racist, like most other Japanocorps in Japanese government. Alright, I'll believe that. You look... I actually really like this comment, you look like you haven't changed much. Because, it's probably about right. How do you mean? I am unable to see which picture is being displayed. You look like you got in a fight. Ah, that must be on Mount Maya. If I remember right, I gave better than I got in that fight. 3 against 1, but they were out of shape and cocky. I used to cause a lot of trouble when I was in school. My father was constantly raging that I had no sense of responsibility, and that I needed to take life more seriously. A cackle erupts from Gaichu, sudden mirth spreading across his face. The final straw was when he bailed me out of jail. I've been in jail a few times. What'd you do? My friends and I stole a delivery van. It had a shipment of Shiawase SimSense decks. Brand new, very expensive. We were going to fence them and use the money to take a trip to Okinawa. Gaichi pauses, cocking his head. Are you familiar with what it's like to grow up in a corporate family? Sure. I see yellow text, I click yellow text. I know a thing or two about it, yeah. Then you understand how it is. Children are encouraged to participate in acts of vandalism against rival corporations. Unfortunately, we were caught by Shiawase security, not Renraku. What'd your father do next? Gaichu clicks his tongue a few times. He seems reluctant to continue. That is a story for another time, unfortunately. I still have a lot of arranging to do, and I doubt anyone else will be willing to be alone with me in a darkened room. Come back later, we can discuss it further. Okay, I am not going to press. Think for all of these people, I am not going to press. Gaichu bows politely. It is. And thank you again for your hospitality. Alright. Well, I guess that's the end of that. What? Box of mementos. Gaichu's box of personal effects is overflowing with a collection of souvenirs, mementos, and knickknacks. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Laying atop the box are a collection of antique Japanese coins inside an overturned wooden mask, and a black lacquered box with a gold inlay. Gaichu cocks his head, sniffing the air in your direction. Ah, I see you have found my box of personal effects. Please, feel free to examine whatever you like within it. Just take care to put them back when you are done. I do not own much, but the things I keep are very precious to me. They are all that remains of my former life. I feel like we looked at this, before we met him, right? We kind of ransacked his stuff. But, maybe he'll give us better explanations now. Yeah, I remember this description of the mask, right? The teeth have been stained a deep black. The expression, while kindly, is ambiguous and uncanny. Viewed from above, the expression is one of calm contentment. Shifting the mask to view it at an upward angle causes the expression to seem melancholy, almost pained. What's with the mask, Gaichu? It is a mask from the historical No play Ikuta Atsumori. The face is that of a young samurai, Taira no Atsumori. Gaichi faces your direction, gesturing toward the mask. I had a collection of a dozen or so No masks when I was younger. That is the last remaining one, and my personal favorite. What's the difference between a normal play and No theater? Good question. No actors wear those masks to cover their faces. The angle they hold themselves at changes the expression on the mask, so the acting is highly rigid and controlled. The entire performance is highly ritualized. There is no measure of improvisation allowed, only refinement of the prescribed form. Okay. Gaichu folds his arms over his chest, dipping his chin in thought. I don't actually know that much about No theater, but this makes a fair amount of sense. Like, turning it into a ritual. Like, giving people a sense of this is how things are supposed to work. That feels very Japanese. The words are sung, like in a Western opera, and accompanied by a set of musicians known as Hayashi. The Hayashi keep time with several drums, a flute, and a chorus. A chorus in the Greek theatrical sense, I mean. Unfortunately, No is an unpopular art in modern times. I expect this is because all of the plays are conducted in classical Japanese, which is not comprehensible to the general public. I have heard that the creators of No, a father and son in the 14th century, took inspiration from magical rituals at Shinto shrines. It is said that by placing masks upon their face, the actors become possessed by the spirit of the characters they play. There are worse fates, I think, than to embody the spirit of a tragic warrior like Atsumori. What's the play about? A young man travels with the priest who raised him to Ikuta Shrine to commune with the spirit of his father, Taira no Atsumori. The young man's father died at the Battle of Ichinotani when the son was only a baby, and he wishes to know who his father was. The pair stay the night in a small hut. In the night, the hermit in the hut explains that he is the ghost of Atsumori. Atsumori has been granted a brief reprieve from his time in the afterlife to meet his son. During the night, they speak of the battle in which Atsumori was killed, the history of the Taira family, and their philosophy. Atsumori fades into darkness as he finishes the tale of the Taira's downfall, just as the family itself faded into obscurity. Ooh, symbolic parallels! That's good storytelling! So think we, yet oh, that we might change this fragile dream of joy into the lasting love of waking life, says Atsumori before fading. It is a tale of sorrow, love, and the burden of war upon the dead and living alike. The price one pays for war is not always in one's own blood alone, but in the shattering of one's own family. Why is it your favorite? Gaichu smiles, expression distant. A measure of civic pride, I suppose. And I like the story. Taira no Atsumori died at the Battle of Ichinotani, just outside Kobe. The play takes place primarily at Ikuta Shrine, which is located in downtown Kobe. In old cities in Japan, especially in Keihanshin, I've always felt there is a sense of history wherever one looks. The skyline may have skyscrapers and delivery drones, but the foundations are laid on the bones of the dead. Gaichu shrugs, folding his arms across his chest. I think it is important to remember their sacrifices and joys, sorrows and glories. Gaichu laughed suddenly, shaking his head. This is why I worry that I am a sentimentalist at heart. Okay, and the box? What's in the box? Sliding the top off, the interior contents are revealed. A calligraphy set, complete with inkstone and block, brushes, and paper. Gaichi wrinkles his nose, his expression one of distaste. Ugh, that thing. It's a beautiful set, but it is a shame that I am unable to make use of it. Oh, because you're blind. Gaichi snorts derisively, stifling laughter. No, my handwriting has always been absolutely terrible. Whatever fanciful stories you may have heard of being able to tell a swordsman's ability by his handwriting, I assure you that they are wrong. I actually haven't heard that story, but maybe that's, you know, a part of Japanese folklore about samurai or whatever. The set was a gift from a professor of Japanese literature. He appreciated my interest in the classics, the tale of the Heike, the tale of Genji, the collection of 10,000 leaves, etc. I think he wished to encourage me to cultivate non-martial interests. Gaichi smiles crookedly and shrugs. I appreciated the gesture, but my attempts at fine calligraphy mostly resembled excited chickens prancing over paper, their feet soaked in ink. Well then. Alright. That's everything we're gonna get out of here, I guess. I guess we should take a look at our email about Isabel's job. One new unread message. Alright, here we go. Recording of Isabel pops onto the screen. She stares into the camera, her eyes full of intensity. If you're watching this, you've decided to listen to my job offer. That's a good thing. I wasn't convinced that you would. Our target is a local Decker, a former Wampoan, and the Matrix his handle is Rhombus. He has the software that we need. Unfortunately, he's unassailable from the Matrix, and nobody knows where he lives in meat space. But I know where he's going to be. There's an event coming up that Rhombus can't afford to miss. He might already be on his way there. As you're reading this message, Deckers from all over Asia, White Hat and Black Hat alike, are converging on the Harbor Spires Hotel. This year, Harbor Spires is hosting DeckCon, Hong Kong's largest annual decking convention. Samurai were the aristocracy and were expected to be well educated, which includes calligraphy. Higher status and or wealth meant better teachers, meant greater skill. Okay. Alright, so there is a reason to think there's a correlation there, as opposed to some, like, spiritual thing, or just a, like, you know what they say about people with big feet kind of thing. Rhombus is going to be there, and that gives us an opportunity. We're going to hit the convention, find him in meat space, and get the software away from him. And we're going to do it quietly. We're going to do it quietly? Have you? Have you met this team? I don't know that this team is capable of doing anything quietly. We certainly stand out, and I expect into space covered with Deckers will stand out even more. Enclosed, you will find a copy of the plan that I've worked out for the run, presented in bullet point format. Everything should be fairly straightforward. Isabel's image winks off of the screen, replaced by a blinking cursor. As you watch, the screen begins to fill with lines of simple instructions. I will provide you and one other runner of your choice with visitor passes for the convention. I will proceed ahead of you using my own guest badge. I will hide in the women's lavatory on the first floor. You will enter via the kitchen and procure me a uniform for the catering staff. Please be sure that the uniform is size 4. Wow, she's really got this all mapped out. Cool. We will rendezvous. I will change into the uniform, and using it, I will infiltrate the administrative wing on the 6th floor. You will proceed into the convention hall and await further instructions. Using the admin computer, I will identify Rhombus via his guest registration form. Once I have done this, I will alert you via comlink. I will upgrade your badge to VIP status, granting you access to the VIP wing of the hotel. You will tell Rhombus that he has been granted VIP status and offer to escort him to a complimentary hotel room. You will escort him to a room that I designate and hold him there. I will jack out of the Matrix and make my way from the admin wing to your room. We'll intimidate Rhombus or beat the tar out of him until he gives us the software. Actual explanations for that correlation throughout the years are varied. I mean, yeah, it sounds kind of apocryphal, right? Like, it sounds like folklore. It sounds like superstition. We will tie and gag Rhombus and stuff him into a storage closet. We will not be gentle. It's okay if he starts crying. Actually, please prioritize this. I want to see tears. This is not usually how specific the plans get, but okay. Software in tow, we will make our escape. The glowing text fades and Isabel winks back onto the screen. See? It's a simple plan, just like I said. Yo, Sainiku! Thank you so much for the continued support. Welcome back to the adventuring party. Very much appreciated. Thanks for being around. 58 months. Good deal. She has a lot of ideas. She doesn't have an actual plan. She's got pieces of a plan, yeah. Can't believe it's been so long. You're right? It's been a long time. Man, it's not something I think about that often, but I've been doing this for a while. Kind of surprising to think that I've known you for that long, huh? But yeah, that number about checks out. That's about right. Wild. COVID time warp is crazy. True. Should be able to get... okay. See? It's a simple plan, just like I said. We should be able to get through it without firing a shot. So will you do it? Will you help me to get the software I need? For you, Isabel, anything. Probably. Half that time has been under Panini. Panini? That's what we're going with? Alright, if you say so. Excellent. I knew that I could count on you. Saddle up the lever. This is going to be fun. Fun, huh? I don't need to reread old messages. That's fine. Go back. Shadowrun BBS, have we been through this? Yes, we have been through this since we've been back. Nothing new here. Alright, so now we spend some money. What are our objectives? Optional. Get some rest. Well, that's probably a good idea, honestly. We spend some money. We go meet Casey's friend at the Mahjong parlor. We go talk to Max Law and figure out what the hell is happening over there. I think go get some rest first seems like a decent objective, though. Let's take a nap real quick. You wake with a start, your limbs bound up in a sweaty tangle of linen bedsheets. An incredible sorrow swells in your chest. You feel empty, half-starved and alone. Fragmentary memories of a half-remembered dream flit through your mind. They're already fading away to nothing. Chase! It's constantly the prompts are interact with something, do not interact. I will never not interact. I will never log off. You close your eyes and concentrate, willing yourself to keep the dream from slipping away. Gradually, the memory comes back to you. The walled city. You were back in the walled city. You don't remember how you got there, but it couldn't have been any place else. Even the barons weren't so squalid. Really? I had a walled city dream. What are the odds? You remember craning your neck to look above you. The buildings that made up this part of the walled city were new construction, even cheaper than the old. Now their foundations had rotted out from under them, and the buildings leaned into one another like a gang of drunken men. A rain of plaster and asbestos sprinkled down, dusting your shoulders. You began to creep forward, picking your way past the piles of refuse and debris, past the pimps and the dumpster fires, the broken glass and the dirty needles. The air reeked of rot and sewage and industrial waste, a disgusting melange that caught in your sinuses and crawled down your throat. You gagged on the stink, but it didn't slow you down. They're being very descriptive here. At the back of your mind, you knew that you had no reason to be doing this. There was nothing for you in the walled city. You shouldn't have been there. But the rest of you was hungry. Unbearably, indescribably hungry. And that part of you knew that if you keep moving, you'd finally get to eat. As you forced your way deeper into the walled city, locals stood at their windows and stared. Inexplicably, some of them dropped to their knees. You kept moving. You could see something in the distance, a silhouette. Something enormous, at least twice the size of a troll, but delicate. It was beautiful. The huge figure beckoned you, gesturing with a slender limb. An explosion of warmth filled your chest, and you knew that if only you could reach it, your problems would be over. She, would make all of your sorrows disappear. You moved forward at a crawl, but the figure felt impossibly far away. You reached out, calling to her, and then you woke up. The empty feeling in your stomach slowly fades, taking the strength and vibrance of the memories along with it. Wow, that's creepy. That is some creepy business. That feels like the kind of thing where the hunger is a projection. Like, it's not my hunger, it's her hunger. So, of course, like, if I only reach her, then I'll finally be able to do something about her hunger. Yeah, that checks out. Oh, that's very ominous and sounds incredibly evil. I can't wait to fight whatever the hell that thing is. Alright. So, let's go to the Mahjong parlor and see what Kindly Chang has to say. Good old Reliable Matthew. Do we think Reliable Matthew is that reliable? Seems unlikely. No time for runners now. I have other business to attend to. What? I thought you had a... Oh, this person. Dr. Shen Yang. Here we go. A rotund, balding dwarf in a cheap suit turns to face you. Light glints from the heavy gold chains that hang around his neck. He is very reliable. Oh. Incredibly suspicious. When he speaks, the voice that greets your ears is high and nasal, and has been contorted into a rough approximation of a New York accent. Pleased to meet you. Chang was kind enough to arrange this little sit-down between us. You can call me Dr. Shenyang. Pleased to meet you. I'm the lever. His grip is as soft as his palm is moist. It's like shaking hands with a boneless ham. That is viscerally disturbing. You share a long, uncomfortably flaccid handshake before he finally releases you. I'm, looking for a little outside help on a problem I've been having. Ordinarily, I'd handle it myself or have some of my friends see to it, but it's kinda delicate, you know? My guys would be noticed before they made any headway on my problem. So I figure, hey, I hire contractors all the time. Might as well get some contractors of a different stripe. Tell me about your problem. I run a little film studio, Southern Crown Films. We mostly do trid work, but we record some sims too. Maybe you've seen some of my stuff. Space Mongols from the Moon. The Flavor of Pomegranates. Ultimate Kill Squad. Can't say I've had the pleasure. Ah, too bad. I'll send some over to Cheng so you can take a look. Anyway, there's this other guy in the industry, and we've been butting heads since day one. Name's Neville Ma. He runs Yellow Spring Studios. No matter what I do, I can't shut him out of the biz. He always manages to get one over on me, steal my stars. He's been running me into the ground with this show called Promises in Moonlight. The star's a girl named Penelope Wong. New talent, but the viewers have been going nuts over her. She's the show's linchpin. Sausage and egg muffins. Sounds delightful. I'm happy for you, Kellerman. Hang on, I'm getting there. So about 6 months ago, Neville was out in Guangzhou for some hoity-toity party. He's on the road, probably drunk. A semi comes out of nowhere, and pow! Wrecks his fancy new Euro car Westwind. Bad luck for Neville,
Good luck for me. I figure, hey, that's the end of him for the year, and I start planning some new stuff he can't compete with from inside a hospital. You follow me so far?
Yeah, I get it. Please get to the point.
Problem is, the bastard's back in the game already. And he's bringing out season 2 of Promises in Moonlight. I need that show off the air, one way or another. And that, my friend, is where you come in.
Already? That's strange.
Tell me about it. He should have been in that hospital for at least 3 months. And in physical therapy a lot longer. Only took him like a week to get out. Couldn't freaking believe it.
Couldn't freaking believe it.
That kind of medical care costs top dollar. He's got a lot of money, but not that much. Recovery time like that means one of 2 things is going on. Neville could have found himself a silent partner. Someone willing to pay top dollar for cutting-edge care. I don't think it's likely, but it could have happened. If it ain't that, the smart money says that he's been skimming off the top of Yellow Spring's earnings and not reporting it to the other shareholders.
And you want me to take a look at that?
I need you to go get me something to blackmail Neville with. Find out how he could afford to get out of the hospital so fast. He works out of his penthouse most days, so search his computer, closet, sock drawer, whatever. There's gotta be something incriminating in there.
Where's the penthouse?
Neville lives in the Repulse Bay. It's this real swanky joint on the south end of Hong Kong Island by the bay with the same name. I haven't been able to get anybody in to poke around his apartment because the security's too tight. Lucky for you, though, Neville's throwing a party on the mezzanine level with all the shops and a restaurant and a balcony and such. He's celebrating the 2nd season launch of his show, and everybody's gonna be there. Gonna make a real snarl for the building security. You might also want to hit up the party if you can bluff your way in. Everyone close to Neville will be there, and most of them will be 3 sheets to the wind by the time you get there. Some discreet questioning might get me the dirt that I need. Just remember, if you go to the party, don't use your real name. Go with Argyle. Should be safe enough. There's nobody in the biz out there with that name, so nobody will ask any questions about how your work's going.
Couldn't you just make a better show? Hit the apartment, hit the party, dig up blackmail. Sounds easy enough. He nods vigorously.
Oh, yeah. Cheng talked you up when I approached her with the job. Given what she told me, this job should be cake. Now, the blackmail material is what I need more than anything. But if you can get Penelope Wong out of her contract, I'll pay you extra, got it? I want that star power on my side. One last thing. I don't want you starting a scene while you're there. You interrupt his party, make a mess, or trash his apartment, and I'm not paying you. We clear on that?
Why the concern?
Because it's gauche. And I can't have Ma knowing I'm after him. In my business, everybody's got dirty tricks. But if you make it public you're using them?
Dr. Shenyang draws a finger across his throat.
That's it. My career's as dead as the People's Republic of China. Nobody'll work for or with me ever again. So don't embarrass me, hey?
No mess, no guns. Got it.
Oh, you can pack heat. Just don't kill anybody at the party or in Ma's apartment. You gotta fight, you find somewhere else to do it. If security gets on you, do what you gotta. I'd rather explain a few bullet holes than a pile of dead Shadowrunners, got me?
Yeah, alright.
Good. If you pull this off, I'll recommend you to all my friends, too.
You don't seem like you deal with Shadowrunners much.
Shadowrunners, Moonlight Prancers, who gives a crap?
Who gives a crap? Why are you, like, so PG, Dr. Shenyang? Everybody else swears. They also do, like, the weird Shadowrun slang swears. And you're over here like, who gives a crap? Do not understand.
I got money and a job. And I don't care who does it as long as the price is right. What's more, I got a lot of friends around town. And a lot of them run in your circles, too.
He looks at you, eagerness in his eyes.
So what, we got a deal? You gonna do it?
I'll think about it? Will I think about it? Do I just want to do it? I don't see any reason not to take this. Like, whatever. Find some dirt on this guy. Give Dr. Shenyang blackmail material. As far as I'm concerned, they're probably both assholes, so I kind of don't mind terribly. Yeah, we got a deal.
Good man. That's what I like to hear. When you're done, drop Cheng a line. I'll come meet you back here and I'll hand over the money.
Alright. Yet another objective added. Time to go talk to Maximum Law. This, I am sure, is going to go well. I wonder how he takes it. Like, I wonder if he takes it really badly. I wonder if this is going to cause problems for me. Maximum Law surveys the docks from beneath his meticulously patched tarpaulin. Goggled and belted with electronics, his arms folded, his expression stern, a sweat-drenched little king. His boat rocks gently. As you approach, he looks sharply your way and breaks into an awkward smile.
Hey, the lever. I was hoping you'd come around. You got a minute?
What's up?
Kindly had Whampoa burn your sin. Where does you doing work for? Not normal Yellow Lotus stuff.
Law shifts from foot to foot. He fidgets with the hardware on his belt.
Shadowrunning.
Ha. Huh. Maybe? Unusual asset. Man's gotta eat.
Wicked.
Law says it distinctly, in a hushed tone, then seems to catch himself. He draws himself up to his full height. His usual demeanor of self-assurance returns.
That's pretty ironclad, the lever. Pretty vicious. If you do good, you'll be noticed. Listen, if you've got info about runs, I can make it worth something. We Whampoans call that kind of thing metadata. Whampoa likes to get the word on the street from the active operators.
Doesn't Whampoa's service to their clientele include not prying? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Who do you think anybody is out here not prying? Alright, worth money?
Yeah, I can hook you up with something. Maybe credits, maybe some sweet programs. But really, you'll gain face with Whampoa. That counts for a lot more than money.
My dude, I'm afraid that ship may have already sailed. Law looks out through the rain, across the rocking boats. He wipes his foggy goggle lenses with a rag from his pocket. His stomach gurgles loudly.
Augmented reality goggles aside, this gig gets really boring sometimes. You ever want to talk shop? I'm here.
I don't think I can do anything else with a SimSense chip, so I'll probably sell it. Like, just ice the elders, they'll recover. I mean, probably. There will eventually be new elders. I'm not that concerned with Whampoa as a whole. But I feel like they might not look too kindly on me for what I have done. I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting Whampoa as a whole to take something to heart that doesn't affect Whampoa as a whole too much. Should we just sell this? Actually, real question. Is there a reason not to just sell this SimSense chip? The direct question. Feel free to answer. Like, if I sell this off, am I going to regret not having it later? Because he's not offering me that much money, but I don't know if there's a reason not to sell it. Does he actually have any tech I'm interested in? I don't think I need the outfit. I bought the 4 armor outfit. Kind of not here for any cyber decking shenanigans. think there's a use for it, but there's an alternative path for what it gives you. All right. Well, if I can keep it and get some value out of it, then I'll keep it. 120 million isn't a lot. About the Wampoan elders. Law erupts into a torrent of livid, awkward profanity, cursing furiously in some sort of pidgin of Cantonese and tech speak. Eventually, he slows down and his swearing slackens. When Magpie gets back, the shit is going down. We're gonna spike those bastards with so much black ice that their brains are gonna turn into pudding. We're gonna feed that pudding to fucking dogs. He folds his arms, an almost comical snarl on his face. I'm not surprised the other elders got themselves killed. Figures. Well, Magpie will know what to do. We'll take care of this. You seem fond of Magpie. Magpie's the best of the bunch. She's brilliant. She's a wicked coder and a Nova hot decker. Plus, she knows the infrastructure. The others, they were okay. They had skills. Except for, she was all woo-woo and couldn't code or build shit. She always wanted to get in the middle of things with her blathering. Those of us in Magpie's bus maintain the shadow nets. That's what keeps Wampoa independent. We're the core. Some people can't handle that.
You don't show much respect for your elders.
Law shrugs. A lot of people are like, respect your elders, kiss their servos. Hey, that's good if you're in an old meat world, but we're Wampoa. We're a self-organizing machine, a neural network tribe. Being an elder is a job and duty, like being a core processor. Elders organize the work sectors and maintain infrastructure. The elders aren't gods, they're routers. Wampoa is built around the network. Sucks to lose their skills. The network has suffered a blow.
You know who killed him?
We don't. It's bullshit. It's a setup. The cameras were all shut down. The mall's door logger was shut down. Everything was shut down. By, guess who? Elder Everybody was at a mandatory all-hands scrum in the Matrix. You know who called it? Elder Was she there? No. We're supposed to know everything. We're open source inside the tribe. Someone chopped up half the circle, then waltzed into the mall and wiped out the rest, then vanished. Thanks, You villain chaser idiot.
Do I want to come clean here? Well, I don't want to lie to him. Do I? Maybe I do want to lie to him. Maybe I just don't care. I kind of want to see his reaction, though. Even if it means that he doesn't want to talk to me ever again, I want to see his reaction.
What? You know something?
Every actuating lens on Law's goggles zooms in on you. A fresh set of status lights begins blinking. One appears to indicate that he's recording.
You were investigating the killings, right? Word is you were asking around.
I do have enough charisma to pull whatever the hell this is off. Alright, well, I see yellow text, I click yellow text. I don't have a choice in the matter.
Riot armor? Figures. The HKPF was around recently. Some fishy business in one of the squats. For some reason we stood off. They've got the firepower to pull it off. So they scouted us and came back for the elders. Those gutter-slotted, hairy...
Law slams his fist down on a nearby display case.
Ouch!
He grabs his hand, cradling it.
That hurts. Anyway, I'll spread the meta to the tribe. If the HKPF thinks we'll let this slide, they're as stupid as they look. Here, this is a cred stick I keep on hand for when people have special information. Take it. You've earned it. Kinda wanna think now. And share files.
Alright, well... rewarded, I guess.
You gotta go? Okay. Watch your back and shoot straight and all.
Law grins at you, and dexterously flashes a hand sign that Shadowrunners give each other in Holovid shows.
I got things to do, too. Oh, God. He thinks it's just like TV. Of course he does. How would he know any different? Alright. So, next step is Isabel's quest, I think? Are we doing Isabel's thing first? Unless I wanted to go shopping. Do I want to go shopping? Not exactly sure what shopping looks like. I need to buy more... Oh, I know where I need to go. I need to go to talk to, what's-her-face in the 5 phases. Magical Girl. Crafty. We gotta talk to Crafty. Crafty's got all the stuff I actually care about. Yeah, pretty much, Cryptomancer. On the other hand, I got paid, so I guess it's worth it. Still don't know anything about the dreams. Working on it. Working on it's good. Alright, let's see what you got. For sale. Anything new? This is a mage spell. This is not relevant to me. Conjuring. I don't want spells, I want conjuring. And there's nothing here that intrigues me. I guess air barrier, maybe? 5 light cover barriers that last 3 rounds. Anyone that enters takes 1 AP damage. It's kind of cool. AP damage on their turn when they walk through a thing. I like that. But no new outfits yet. So shops haven't really updated. Just browsing, thanks. There's a way to just reveal Elder's dirty dealings to the Wempoans and have both revenge and the gratitude at the same time without lying. Yeah, no, I'm sure there was, but I didn't quite get all of the information together. It felt like I hit, 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, but because I didn't fully investigate the gang, there was pieces of evidence that I was missing. So we didn't have all the pieces we need to kind of talk our way out of it. So I had to fight someone. Which, I get it. That's how it plays out sometimes. Alright, anyway, it's mission time. I think we'll go on Isabel's mission next. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Which one is Isabel's mission? Transit to Kai Tak to board a chartered bus to DECCON. I think that is the plan. However, I'm going to go refill water, go to the bathroom, etc. before we continue this. So, hang tight, folks. I'm going to give you folks some music while I'm out. And let me say thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll be doing some more in a bit. And keep going. Hello. Hello, I have returned. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for hanging out. I see I've missed something important. Revens, thank you so much for your continued support. Welcome back to the adventuring party. Very much appreciate you dropping your Prime sub here. I understand you have many places at which you can drop your Prime sub, so I definitely appreciate you dropping it here. And with that, let's pause the music and get back into the game. Been long enough, right? Alright, to DECCON. Let's go. Alright, well, I can't imagine we can actually do this without bringing Isabel. Isabel must be present. Okay, yeah, I kind of thought that it wasn't going to let us not bring Isabel, so that makes sense. And then we want to bring somebody else who, the goal of this is to not get in combat, right? The goal of this is to do, like, social warfare, basically. We need a Decker. I've got high charisma, and we should bring, I don't know, who else comes with? Who else thinks they can help? Probably not someone who is very obviously a person who doesn't belong. Maybe let's not bring a ghoul on this trip. Maybe let's not bring a mil-spec drone. So, it's either Gobbet or Duncan. And, I think Duncan's probably not super good in social situations, so I guess it's the core crew. It's me, Isabel, and Gobbet. Let's go. We should probably bring somebody who can fight. Gobbet cannot fight. I guess we'll bring Duncan instead. At least Duncan can shoot people. Duncan can shoot people and is not as obvious as Gaichu or Raptor. Sure, this seems reasonable. Let's go. Just in case. I don't want to have to shoot people, but if we do have to shoot people, let's bring somebody who can shoot people. A chartered bus carries you from Kai Tak to a mid-range hotel in Suen Wan. All around you, the happy chatter of your fellow passengers fills your ears. You hear tech speak in a variety of languages and dialects, talk about new lines of drones and decks, arguments over innovations in data jack technology, and baseless speculation about the next season of Urban Brawl. Your guest badge, a glossy slip of laminated paper emblazoned with a flashy logo, hangs on a lanyard around your neck. Your ticket into the convention hall, and the only disguise that you should need. A ghoul with extreme charisma would be interesting. Yeah, right? That'd be super cool. That'd be a very interesting way to play it. Ghoul Shaman. The bus drops you in front of the Harbor Spires Hotel, and you promptly circle around back to find a service entrance. Isabel should be waiting for you inside. Let's hope. Alright, I got nothing for any of you. I'm just doing my own thing. Confirm. I have karma. Do I? How much karma do I have? I have 8 karma? That should clearly be spent on charisma. Because we want to get another etiquette. I really want to be able to talk my way out of these problems. The service entrance to the Harbor Spires Hotel looks like any other. Scuffed walls coated in chipped paint, a floor of well-worn hardwood, a time card reader hanging from the wall at a slight tilt. Who's been hacking the time card reader? Nothing about the dingy utilitarian confines of the room that you're in hints at the elegance and fine decor of the hotel beyond. Yeah, of course. They're not going to waste that stuff on the employees. Reminds me of that dump we squatted in back in Bear Creek. The motel with the raccoon problem. Little bastards kept me up half the night every night. I swear that one of them was eyeballing me. Your earpiece crackles to life. Isabel, calling from the woman's lavatory. The lever. A burst of static fills your ear, obliterating Isabel's voice. A second later, she cuts back in.
You in position?
I'm here, yeah. You're kind of breaking up, though.
Yeah, I know.
More white noise.
Nextioneer is crap. Comms keep cutting.
This doesn't bode well. Aren't you going to be giving us instructions over the comms?
Yeah, hang on. Trying to boost our signal.
The sound cuts out entirely for a good 5 seconds. When Isabel's voice comes back, it's half again as loud as it was before.
There. That's better. What a pain in the ass this is. There's way too much interference coming from the show floor. We aren't going to be able to rely on our comlinks for this. I'll find us a workaround.
Okay, well... Please do that thing. This entire plan hinges on our being able to communicate.
Like I said, I'll find a workaround. For now, let's concentrate on the task at hand.
Alright, tasks, let's go. Decking 3!
The catering staff should all be in the kitchen, hauling trays of steamed clams and aperitifs out to the convention hall floor. I'm gonna need you to find a way to get me one of their uniforms. One that'll fit someone my size.
What if there aren't any that fit you?
There will be. Hotel guidelines require the catering company to have uniforms suitable for all metatypes on hand for major events. It's a contingency thing, just in case they need to bring in temp workers on short notice.
Alright, let's do it!
Good. Oh, and the lever. We aren't going loud yet. Got it? Whatever you do, don't start shooting. We can't afford to send Rhombus running before we can get him cornered.
Right, no shooting till we have Rhombus. Okay. Alarm panel. Aww, Forge admin level access. That would be a cool thing to have done. This panel controls simple building maintenance and safety features. While the panel's admin level user interface has been locked away behind a biometric fingerprint reader, a skilled decker could easily bypass such a restriction. Which I am not. What do you have for me? Huang. Millions. The damned sprinklers went off again. The entire kitchen was flooded, and Chef Bun quit. We're going to have to go with third-party caterers for the big event this weekend, because we sure as hell can't steam a few thousand clams without any kitchen staff. I see. This is a thing that only works with riggers. We don't have any of those. No drones available. I guess we should have brought Koshé. Koshé's good in a fight. Oh well. That's if we're going to be fighting, though, which it's not clear that we are. The Harbor Spire's kitchens are a whirlwind of activity. Attractive 20-somethings in white catering uniforms dash in and out of the room, their arms laden with heaping trays of steaming shellfish. One man stands still amongst the chaos, the eye of the storm. His white coat is at least half again whiter than those of his subordinates, and his collar starched as stiff as a board. The floor manager notices you and his eyes narrow. He stalks towards you, practically frothing at the mouth. You can't help but notice the embroidered corporate logo on his lapel. Pastry, magic, and more. Fine catering. The image is completed by a stylized rendering of what appears to be a frolicking kitten, standing astride a pair of shooting stars. Well, that is a hell of a logo for a catering company.
Yo! What are you doing in my kitchen?
He glances at your chest, sees the visitor badge hanging from the lanyard that Isabel gave you dangling around your neck.
Convention goers are not allowed beyond the show floor!
I really like your uniform. Could I buy one for my daughter? What the hell? No. There's yellow text. I see yellow text, I click yellow text. I'm here at the behest of my employer, Wuxing Enterprises. Perhaps you've heard of them.
Yes, everybody's heard of Wuxing, but
what do you want with me? Our CEO, Mr. Wu Lung Wei, likes your food. He'd like to offer you a permanent location in one of our corporate food courts. Ooh. His eyes go wide.
Yes, of course. I'm so sorry for the rough treatment that I gave you when I found you in my kitchen. Normally, I would never...
Of course you wouldn't. Now, I'll need to bring my employers one of your uniforms for branding purposes.
One of our uniforms? Yes, of course, take as many as you need.
He fumbles with a device on his wrist, and a door in the corner of the room opens with a click. Thank you. My employers will be in touch with your contract.
Thank you, sir.
As you turn away, he bows frantically after you.
This is the happiest day of my life!
Well, that went well. Great. Boy, it's a good thing I had an etiquette. I guess if I had had a drone, that would also have worked. But I'll take having an etiquette. And then we go out this way to the bathroom, wherever the bathroom is. Oh boy, this place is huge. Just look at all this stuff. Let's not accidentally shoot anybody, I guess. Since, we don't have our boy Rhombus in hand. I guess this is all a bunch of Deckers hanging out and talking shop and doing their thing. Good for them. Alright, I see 2 bathrooms here. One of which is clearly plot relevant. The other of which is clearly a bathroom. Etiquettes are the best. I mean, the way I'm going, yeah. I am intending to do this run with a heavy focus on etiquettes and talking my way out of garbage. But, you know, sometimes that's not the point. Sometimes you just want to shoot people in the face. Shady man. Hello, shady man. A sketchy-looking man in a long, shabby coat stands in the middle of the bathroom floor, teetering on his feet. He blinks at you through red-rimmed eyes, crusted over with sleep. Hey there. Are you, He checks the screen of his PDA. The Imperator? Because if you are, I got your stuff. Yeah, it's totally me. Great. Great. He lifts an overstuffed plastic shopping bag. Here, you want to see the whole stock? You just want to buy the items that we discussed. Yo, what else you got? Oh, drugs. Drugs, I see. Do I want drugs? Some Maxin Relaxin? An antidepressant banned in the UCAS for its side effects. Willpower boosts, eh? Quickness and strength reduced by 1. Fascinating. Hyper. I think I don't care about any of these. Cool, good talk. Alright, I gotta warn you though. HyperX ain't cheap. He extends his bag and opens it wide. Down at the bottom, buried under a mountain of loose pills, is a shiny plastic bottle. It's the bottle. You're gonna have to fish it out if you want it. And, be careful. I think there's a few loose needles in there. Fish through the dealer's inventory. Why not? Ah, a few loose needles never hurt anybody. Oh, now the Hyper and HyperX are on the list of things. Oh, Hyper was already there, but HyperX is now here. Accuracy increased by 6%, incoming damage increased by 2. A local variant of the popular combat stim, accuracy increased by 5%, and movement by 2 for 5 rounds. Hoo-hoo. Having a meeting in front of the urinals, then handling the goods. Yes. Yes, this is not at all savory or hygienic. But you know, here we are. Alright. Good stuff, huh? So nice. You want anything else? I do not, but thank you. Alright, Isabel. You enter the woman's restroom to find Isabel waiting impatiently for you. Her guest badge dangles from its lanyard at a canted angle, and the clumped ropes of her hair look frazzled. The sight of you, she steps forward. You're here. Good. I was getting tired of hanging out in the ladies' room. You have the uniform? Yep. She eyes the embroidery of the logo, nodding. Good. Good. This'll work. Alright, I'm gonna change into this thing and hightail it to the employees-only door on the far side of the convention hall. They'll let me in even without a badge. They'll just figure that some rich guy wants a drink. Where's the VIP area?
On the other side of the convention floor. I'll have to cross the show floor to do it, but that should be safe enough. Nobody pays attention to the catering staff at these things. So I'll make my way across, pass through the door, and take the elevator up to the admin wing on the 6th floor.
Do I really need all this information? Look, if you're gonna handle your part of it, handle your part of it. Why the info dump?
All that you need to do is take your position and wait for my instructions without raising an alarm. Pretty simple stuff. Should be foolproof, assuming that you don't screw anything up. Any questions?
So what about that spotty comlink connection?
Yes. There's a demo kiosk near the VIP entrance. It's running some new Matrix avatar editing suite or something like that. The software is called Perfect Persona. When I get to the admin area, I'm going to patch myself into the Perfect Persona console. We're going to communicate through that. Isn't a perfect solution, but it beats having to deal with a dropped connection. Just be sure to grab the kiosk when you're in position. Don't let anybody else get to it.
Alright, what am I supposed to do on the show floor again?
Wait by the VIP area door. When I identify Rhombus, you'll apprehend him. Tell him that he's the lucky winner of a complimentary VIP pass upgrade. We'll escort him through the VIP doors into a room that I'll have empty and waiting. Then we'll all get the software from him together. Beat him up and stash him in a closet.
Alright, what do I do between now and when you get in position?
Walk the show floor. Mingle. Try to look like you belong here. Just try not to say or do anything that'll stand out in a bad way. You're supposed to be a hot new decker in town. Try to act the part.
Okay. What if I just hang out near the VIP door instead? What if all I do is go to the VIP door? Objective added. Blend in and explore the convention floor. There's people I can talk to, presumably? Oh yeah, look at all these people I could talk to. Which one is the VIP door? Is this? Perfect Persona. Yep, right over here. Great. I guess I can't just wait around. I gotta go talk to people for some reason. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Alright, well, come on, Charisma. Here we go. Judging by the patches sewn onto his bomber jacket, this elf is from the NAN. Council Island, to be specific. A forested chunk of rock in the middle of Lake Washington that was called Mercer Island until the Native American nations reclaimed it. He doesn't look American, Amerindian, though. If anything, he looks Chinese in descent, though his mask makes it hard to tell for sure. He turns to face you at your approach. His features are mostly hidden, but you see that he's sporting a high steel collar and spiky hair. His cheeks are high-boned and hollow. He eyes you nervously. Hey, you want something from me? What's up? Just wanted to get to know my fellow congoers. That's very, That is an awkward way to phrase that sentiment. But you know what? Let's be awkward.
Yeah, what gave me away?
He makes a point of showing off his jacket. The tribal insignias look strangely out of place here on the DECCON floor.
You from Seattle?
Yeah, thereabouts.
No, Drek. Well, it's good to meet you, chummer.
The Seattle shadow slang sounds incredibly awkward when delivered in Cantonese, but he doesn't seem to notice.
Good to meet you, too.
Gives you an awkward smile. Pretty clear this guy doesn't get out much. Interesting. So all that, like, very specific Shadowrun slang is, like, Seattle specific? I guess I didn't realize that I wasn't seeing it as much in the second game. And it is very obvious now that that's the first time I'm hearing it in this game. Interesting. Anything specific you're here to see?
Yeah, I'm here to check out the 57 Fuji Cyberdecks. My 55 Cyber 7 is barely cutting it these days. I want to see what they're coming out with next year, and I've heard they have a demo station. So, tell me, what's your favorite new ESP for incursion operations? I like Blasthammer, personally. Heard of it? It's open source, developed by the Southeast Asian decking community. Does a number on blocker ice.
Blasthammer. Never heard of it. He snickers to himself.
Really? It's only, the most popular freeware attack ESP in Southeast Asia.
He's practically shouting. His face is lit up with maniacal glee. Learn something new every day, I guess.
Yeah, you said it. You better get with the program if you want to survive out here.
He leers at you, his expression all smugness and superiority.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like somebody I want to hang out with. I gotta go, sorry. Yeah, see ya. Was this worth it? Was this a good idea? Was talking to people a mistake? Can't believe I've allowed people to talk to me. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Software demo station. Alright, well, we've talked to someone. We can talk to other people, but I don't think we have to. So I'm, not going to. Product display. I like the idea of looking at a software demo. Let's go look at a software demo. The newest iteration of Shiawase's Sculpt It. Couldn't bring you the ultimate in data jack uplink speeds without redesigning the interface. You will have to update your data jack to take advantage of these exciting new features. Ain't that always the way? Product display. Sure, let's look at another software. Noodle extruder? Yo, I want noodles. Heck with the software, we're gonna get noodles. Hot noodle dispenser, complete with extruder settings for ramen, ramen, juksing, and something else. Your comlink crackles to life with an ear-splitting hiss. Isabel.
Okay, I've jacked into the admin compute.
Static.
Imitative, but I can work with it. You in position. Get to the waiting position near the VIP entrance.
Your ears fill with a shrill electronic whine.
And use the kiosk. Remember, perfect persona.
Got it.
While you're getting there, I'll start working on getting you access and locating Rhombus.
Got it. No response.
If there's anything else you want to see on the show floor, you should probably check it now before we get the ball rolling. Your call.
Is there anything else I want to see on the show floor? None. This is not my business. I am not a decker. I am not a rigger. None of this is even remotely interesting to me. I don't even understand most of it. And also there's this idiot. Such a gatekeeper. Come on, man. Let me enjoy my fake hobby in peace. The perfect persona kiosk flickers to life at your approach. A debug menu pops onto the screen, along with a text prompt in all caps. The lever. Enter the following key code into this kiosk. Well, if you say so. You tap the code on the kiosk's keyboard. A moment later, a series of 5 loud popping sounds rattles off in your comlink's earpiece. Isabel's voice fills your ear, crisper and cleaner than it was before.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, the lever?
Yup.
Command line code for the kiosk to connect with your comlink via direct link.
A hint of smugness creeps into her voice.
This way, we can bypass using a comm signal entirely.
Good job, Isabel. You so smart?
Not bad. I know. As long as you remain within a couple of feet of the kiosk, we shouldn't have any problems. Wander too far outside of that range, you're gonna get static again.
So basically, I can't move from this spot.
That's what I said, right? Now we're all linked up. Give me a second and I'll locate Rhombus.
You hear the sound of rattling keystrokes, coupled with Isabel muttering under her breath. The line falls silent. The silence stretches. 10 seconds. 20. Then you hear Isabel explode. Literally?
What the hell? He already has one? How the fuck does Rhombus merit a VIP pass when I don't?
He's already in the VIP area? She rails into your earpiece, fuming.
I'm twice the decker that he is, and everybody knows it. What makes him a VIP when I'm not?
Maybe he has friends in high places. She takes a moment to calm herself. You can almost feel the heat of her anger radiating through your earpiece. Wow, that's some good technology.
Alright, I know which room he's staying in now.
Another strained silence.
I'll just need a few minutes to get you your VIP up.
The line goes dead. That wasn't good. What do you think was... A series of clicks erupts in your ear, cutting Duncan's sentence short. Your PDA begins blinking. You are receiving a video chat request. That doesn't sound good. I bet it's Rhombus. Isabel blossoms onto the screen along with a pair of towering security guards. The line that connected her to the admin terminal hangs loose from its socket. Oh, it's not Rhombus. She's just been found. Hotel security guard. Okay. I'm gonna ask you again. What the hell are you doing in here? Take your time. Make sure you're telling me the truth. I'll know if you don't. Isabel stammers helplessly.
Well, I was just looking for the person who ordered this coffee.
What? You were looking for him in the Matrix? And besides, you don't have any coffee. So try again. She continues to sputter. Her eyes dart toward the screen, fixing on you. You can see the desperation on her face.
Well, I need to,
We're doing the Cyrano thing! We are in fact doing the Cyrano thing. Let Isabel know that you can do the Cyrano thing without requiring too much from her.
Okay.
Last chance. Start talking sense or spend the night with the HKPF. Works in this room? I don't think he works in this room. My coworker sent me in here as a prank. I feel like such a fool.
My coworker sent me in here as a prank.
The words sound rehearsed, but they're tinged with enough genuine panic to be plausible.
I feel dumb.
The guard glances at his counterpart. We don't have time for this. Just kick her out and be done with it. The guard in front of Isabel straightens. Yeah, you're probably right. She looks down on Isabel, hands on her hips. Gonna let you go with a warning this time, but only this once. If I catch you anywhere near this room again, I'm turning you over to the police. Got it?
But I...
Getting out of this easy, Isabel. Just go along with it. She clenches her jaw, looks up at the guard.
Yes, sir.
Good call. The line goes quiet as she moves out of the server room. Okay, well, I guess now we're Isabel.
What a damn nightmare this is turning out to be. I'm sorry, the lever, but I couldn't get you your VIP access.
Getting out of there in one piece is a big deal. Yeah. Let's go with that.
You're right. At least I know where we have to go. Rhombus has a room in the VIP section, and I can get us there. There's only one problem. Without VIP access, you can't open the door without sounding an
The picture on your PDA flickers worryingly. A moment later, Isabel's image returns to the screen.
And let you in from this side. That's what I'm gonna do now. I'll make my way down to you and open the door.
Lost a bit of that. We're gonna have problems again?
Maybe, a bit. I'm still using the kiosk to talk to you, but now that I'm not jacked in, I can't route messages to it directly anymore. Please stay put. If you lose the kiosk, we're gonna have serious communication issues.
Okay.
Oh, and I, may need your help if I run into more people up here, the lever. In case you hadn't guessed, I'm not exactly a social butterfly. And if things go loud, I'll really need your help.
Alright, it's fine. I get it. Oh no. Now I have to guess which of these doors is the right door? I hate pick a pipe. It's probably this way. That has a computer in it. Cool. I did it. I guessed right. This is an elevator. Is this the music from that show? The, like, fake King Arthur show in the second one? Isabel's outline goes fuzzy the moment she sets foot into the elevator. A loud, rhythmic whooshing sound dominates the low end of your PDA speakers. Sounds a bit like the rotors of a helicopter. Getting interference. An elf in his mid-20s steps aside to let Isabel at the floor selector panel. He looks wired, jittery, stimmed to the gills most likely. There's no telling how long it's been since he's gotten a wink of sleep. Isabel punches the button for the ground floor. She's a great decker, that's about it. I don't doubt it. She knows what she's doing in the Matrix, and anywhere else she's a fish out of water.
Working the show, huh? That has to be hard.
The elf smiles down on Isabel, his expression affable.
I'd feel tempted to blow off work and go check out the kiosks. Maybe take in a panel or two.
Oh. We gotta make this easy, right? She's obviously a decker. If he starts talking decker stuff, she'll be able to respond. Don't play dumb. She starts in, repeating your words with forced sincerity.
It's tough, alright. I wish that I could just drop...
She falls silent. You can see her staring at the man's VIP badge. Isabel, don't go off script! Her eyes remain locked on the man's badge. If she heard what you said, she's ignoring you.
Keen Ding, huh? That's an interesting street name. Been decking under it long?
Couple of years now, he smiles. Longer than anyone else to use the handle. Don't know what you're doing, but be careful. If she heard you, she doesn't acknowledge it.
I know who you are. You're the one who shut down the Kowloon City power grid 6 months ago.
He clears his throat. Yeah, that was me. Let's just keep that between ourselves, though, alright?
That little stunt screwed over a lot of local deckers.
Her voice is soft, but you can detect a definite undertone of hostility.
Couple of them soaked up nasty hits of dump shock because of it. You wrecked the grid while they were jacked into their home machines.
My team was in a bind. They needed a power outage right then and there. They were cooked. So I gave them one. It was the best solution to a bad situation. Let's leave it at that. An icy silence descends on the elevator car. A few seconds later, Isabel pierces it.
There was this decker. She lived out in Haoi, called herself Spinster. She was a good person. Now she's in the ground. She never came back out of the coma that your stunt put her into.
Oh, I guess we're going loud. Okay. Another long pause. Slowly, Ding extends his hand towards the emergency brake. Isabel, do you want us to go loud? Because this is going loud. She balls her hands into fists. You can read the tension in her body language. She's biting her tongue.
At least, that's what I heard. I'm just a caterer. I'm not a decker myself.
He stares down at Isabel. The smile has vanished from his face. Yeah, sure you're not. Come to get me, haven't you? To take revenge for your friend. Did her people put out a contract on me? Is that it? Time to make everything explode? Maybe. Just a caterer who spends way too much time lurking on the Shadowland BBS. I feel like this is probably the best bet It's close. It's not that it's close to the truth, but it's closest to what Keen Ding already thinks. So that's probably the most likely to go through with where he's at the moment.
Yes, I took the contract, but I've decided not.
Abruptly, the connection cuts to static. This isn't good. The static pops and hisses for 10 seconds. 20. Finally, the picture warbles back into view. Keen Ding is in mid-sentence, practically frothing with rage.
Did what I had to do! If you were in my position, you'd have done the same! If you could have...
You'd have done the same if you would have gotten... You've done the same... Probably this is meant to be or.
If you were in my position, you'd have done the same, or you'd have gotten them killed!
He's shouting. The sound of it reverberates in the cramped confines of the elevator car.
There was no third way out of that scenario!
Isabel starts to respond. The anger is clear in her tone. I would not have... Isabel, stop. Listen to me. She stops short.
What?
You're crazy. An insane person. When I get out of this elevator, I'm going to the hotel security office. Biotech 3. Tell him you're with the Yellow Lotus. I don't like bringing heat onto the Triad from this, because that's what it sounds like will happen. Tell him to chill out. Yeah, because that works when people are insane with rage. I don't like any of these options. This is just a really terrible situation, and there's no good way out of it. Or maybe we're just going loud right now. I think we're just going loud right now.
You don't want to turn me in. My boss would be very unhappy. I work for Kindly Chang.
The color drains from his face. He begins to stammer.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean static. The comms have cut out again. This is getting old. As quickly as it went, the picture flickers back onto your PDA's screen. Don't you miss Ractor right now? No jokes. She is a hot shit decker, but professional under these circumstances, she sure is not. As quickly as it went, the picture flickers back onto your PDA screen. Keen Ding looks calmer now. The elevator is descending.
Remember what we discussed. You keep your cool and this turns out well for the both of us. We live and let live. Understood?
Yes, I didn't want any trouble from you in the first place. I'm just glad that it was all a misunderstanding. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'll be happy if this is the last that I ever see of you.
The feeling is mutual.
The car finally slides to a halt, and the elevator doors slide open. The other decker doesn't get off.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Get a move on, Isabel. God. Get out of that elevator. I am so over all of that. Alright, great. Who are these people? One of these people is Rhombus, aren't they? The hallway ahead is blocked by a trio of struggling bodies. A blackout drunk troll hangs slung between a pair of cursing security guards. Oh, never mind. One male and one female. As you watch, they struggle valiantly to drag her down the hallway. The troll's voice comes out in an inebriated roar. Unhand me, you fools! The older of the two guards, a middle-aged man with a pompadour haircut, alright, struggles with all his might to keep his prisoner's flailing arm constrained. Don't let her go, oh ye! She has the strength of 10 men! Strength of 10. How dramatic. Convention. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You recognize her as the guard who was standing by the employee entrance on the show floor. How she got roped into troll hauling duty is anyone's guess. The security captain locks eyes with Isabel. He barks out an order. Clear the hall! Well, this doesn't look good. Isabel's small voice chirps out, echoing your words.
This doesn't look good.
With an exaggerated motion, the troll swings her head towards Isabel. You, dwarf girl! Help me! These... She hiccups mightily. The sound reverberates in your ears. These dreckheads want me to leave because I'm a troll!
What's happening here?
A buff troll does have a strength of at least 5 average men. I mean, trolls are strong, sure. But it's like, dramatic. It's a dramatic way to phrase it. None of your business. You're not even hotel staff. You shouldn't be back here at all. He hugs the troll's left arm to his chest with all of his strength, desperately trying to weigh her down. She lifts his feet a few inches off the floor, then slams him back down. He lets out an audible whimper. Now clear the way. Report to your manager. Quit fighting me, damn it! Before I talk to him for you. I don't have socialite? Ugh. The former door guard stares at Isabel. Recognition dawns on her face.
Hey, I remember you. You said you had to meet some caterers up on 6. What are you doing down here?
Well, let's not try and antagonize her. So...
Just checking to see if anyone needed a drink. You want a mojito?
The man strains against the troll's drunken efforts. His brow is beaded with sweat. You shouldn't... Hold still! Be here! Not even to offer drinks! The troll looks down on Isabel and issues a mush-mouthed plea. Ignore these pigs and help me! I'll take the runt on the left. You take the right! The troll bucks against the guard's grasp, nearly breaking away from them. They double down on their attempts to hold her. By 4th Ed rules, an average man has a strength of 2. Troll has a natural strength limit of 10. Okay, I believe it. I mean, yeah, trolls are strong. Isabel stares into the PDA. She looks irritated.
To hell with this. It's a waste of time and we've got a schedule to keep.
Oh, I'm not smart! I tried. Attempts were made. Her hand moves towards her weapon. What do you mean? What schedule? Say that you misspoke? Quick, what rhymes with schedule? This is not gonna work out at all. Oh, screw it. Without another word, she goes for her gun. The security guards recoil in disbelief, and the drunken troll seizes the moment to break their grip. She lets out a yelp of exultation. Yep, this went exactly as poorly as expected. A deafening crackle of static from the intercom system draws the attention of everyone on the show floor. A second later, you hear the security captain's voice in glorious stereo, the intercom sounding in one ear and your PDA's earpiece in the other. Oh shit! Take her down! Take them both down! Welp. Big ol' neutral turn, and there goes the enemy turn. Oh, that's a lot of neutrals. Punch! That's not a lot of neutrals? Break VIP door. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have you break the VIP door. This door appears to be made of hollow core pine, a rarity in modern-day Hong Kong. Wouldn't take much effort to knock it off its hinges. If only I had been smart, right? Instead, I decided to have a big body. An alarm system has been linked into the doorway, but the building alarms are already blaring. Kicking the door down won't make much of a difference. Well then. Boot! Get in there. Oh. We've found some security guards. You are sitting out in the open. Give you some armor. And you need a place to hide. And then you can shoot a grenade launcher. That sounds fun. Place to hide. Maybe not a grenade launcher. Maybe just hit the captain. Nice. Good shot. Oh, my troll. Hey, my face. Pretty miserable hit there. That could have been better. Are we shooting these idiots? They seem like opponents. We should maybe shoot them. Well, I'm sure not going to be shooting them. That's Duncan's job. Well, keep on moving forward. Keep on hiding. And, do some shoots. He's hella bleeding. Alright, let's focus on the other security guard, because I'm pretty sure the troll will be able to handle him. What do we have here? Beanbag shot. 2 AP damage and it imbalances targets. Nice. Yeah, beanbags. Get him out of the fight. 2 AP damage and they can still do stuff? Rude. Half or normal damage. 2 attacks. 5 attacks, so like 2.5 versus 2. Minus 10% to hit. Yeah, alright, full auto, let's go. Pretty good damage. Ow. Excuse you. Wait a minute. Hold on there. He moved and shot after I did 2 AP damage? What the hell is that? Last until combat ends. Okay. Up to the maximum of 10. Oh, neat. Keep getting armored then, buddy. I should really have a heal here. No armor bonus for you, buddy. I guess shoot him in the face. Pachoom! Nice. Yeah, okay. That's about how I expected that to go. Go big troll! Do big troll things! Alright, now we gotta chase down this idiot. Oh, what? Locked his door? There's nobody else to shoot. Where are we going? I guess we're going out. Do I have an objective here? Other than keep Isabel alive. Fight off security. Okay, yeah, I don't know where I'm going. We're just fighting off security. Whatever that looks like. What is this? Oh, this is upstairs. Which is a place we're definitely not at. And should not be able to see from here. Maps, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he popped out again. Wow. Super rude. To Rhombus's suite. Get over here, Isabel. And the troll? Trolls, we're leaving the troll behind. Alright, cool. Anything else we can do while we're up here? Probably not. Great. This does seem like a good place to try and obtain potentially sensitive data, right? So many Deckers around here. They can't all have good security. So, Rhombus. That would be you, yes? As you burst through the door, you find yourself standing face to face with a small, heavily tattooed man. Geometric shapes of all descriptions trace their way from his temples down his cheeks. Excuse me. Cheeks and neck to his shoulders. His eyes continue the motif. Each of his irises is a slanted rectangle. Wow. Is that elective surgery? Is it like cosmetic surgery to change his irises? That's pretty rad. Rhombus looks at Isabel and sighs. If he's surprised to see her, he doesn't show it. You finally want him back, huh? The memories that we locked away. I always knew that you would one day. But you got so hostile after the procedure, I didn't think you'd come around this soon. Cyber eyes with custom look. Oh, that's right. You can replace your eyes with cyber eyes. Which might as well, right? Seems reasonable. Isabel glowers at him, her cheeks darkening. Don't get bent, Rhombus. I got hostile with you because you got hostile with me. Like hell I did. I tried to give you some advice, as a friend. If memory served, you called me a patronizing bastard and slagged my deck. Was I just supposed to take that without punching back? Hang on a sec. Isabel cuts in, her normally small voice growing raucous. I called you a patronizing bastard because that's what you were being. You wouldn't have taken that tone if I were a guy, or an orc, or a troll. You talked down to me like I was your little sister or something. Well, guess what? I'm not. Whoa, hold up. I talk that way to you because... She shouts over him, cutting him short. Also, punch back? That's a funny way of putting it. You tailored an ESP to troll all of my posts on Shadowland. What kind of prick would do a thing like that? Troll all of my Wow. He wrote a bot. He wrote a bot to post memes on all of her forum posts. Rad. His face goes beet red and his chest puffs out. The kind whose cat you had killed, you little monster. Captain Whiskers was just a house cat. He didn't have anything to do with this. Isabel killed his cat? She rears back in indignation. That wasn't me. I would never hurt a cat. If I were going to have someone killed, it would have been you. You sound like bickering teenagers. You're the muscle, I take it. You and your jarhead friend over there. He nods at Duncan. She brought you along to beat the information out of me, huh? It's just a job. Nothing personal. He scoffs at Isabel, wrinkles his nose in disgust. Typical. Calm down. Not gonna beat you up unless you force me to. Isabel blinks up at you. But I want you to... Let me ask you something.
How many people did you kill to get to me? I mean, what kind of death toll are we looking at here? I'm assuming that the gunshots in the hall were your doing.
Of course not. That had nothing to do with us. Am I trying to intimidate? I guess I'm trying to intimidate him. That's right.
Yeah, I've got you.
His eyes dart from side to side. Then he starts screaming,
Help! Security! Somebody! Help! They can't hear you, Rom. Know why? Because we killed them. Now give me my goddamn key.
Rhombus doesn't respond, other than to increase the pitch of his screaming. He looks like he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
The hell with this. Let's hit him like a piñata till software comes out. Sound like a plan?
Both behaving like children. I mean, that's accurate. She blinks.
What?
From what I've heard, your argument started over basically nothing. You've both blown this way out of proportion. Charisma! Charisma!
I don't know what you're... Yes, you do! This whole thing started over me trying to do you a favor! I don't even remember what the advice I was trying to give you was about! I think... maybe I was telling you what kind of ram to pick up for a deck? Something like that? Yeah, I think that was it. But you were real dick about it.
She stares up at him, fuming.
And the argument was nothing. It was what you did after the argument that was unforgivable.
Taking the moral high ground isn't gonna work for you here. You attacked me first, and for no reason. Okay, from what I'm getting here, I'm still gonna talk my way out of this, goddammit. Okay, from what I'm getting here, you both hate each other, but you were friends, right?
Once, I guess. You guess? You let me perform amateur brain surgery on you. Hell, you begged me to. We were friends, Isabel. Good friends. And then you went and messed it all up.
Amateur brain surgery. Therapy orc is in. I'm gonna do my best, I swear. What the hell has this been about? Okay, let's aim for calm down first, and then we can find out what they're actually talking about.
You don't know any... He's right, Iz. That's exactly what this is. Look, you want the encryption key for the memories that we locked away? It's yours. I don't envy you the pain that you'll feel when you unlock them, but that's your decision to make.
The software that we're here to find, an encryption key? She nods.
Yes, I had Rhombus move the memories of my childhood into headwear storage. That's why I couldn't give you any details about the walled city. I didn't have access to them.
Oh! It wasn't an eldritch being that ate your memories. You just moved them into external storage. Okay, I mean, Decker, I guess that checks out. He keys a series of buttons in on his PDA. Isabel's PDA buzzes a moment later.
There. Check your inbox. You've got the key. Do with it what you will. Was holding on to it for you anyway.
Isabel blinks confusedly.
But I thought that we were enemies now.
Like you just have to be enemies? Isabel, what did he do to you?
We were. But there was no reason for us to be. Just take the key and go. Have a nice life.
He waves her off. He looks exhausted. Nah, I got nothing to say about that. Yeah, we're good. Isabel stares at Rhombus, a neutral expression on her face. Finally, she speaks up.
I'm sorry, Rhombus. I don't know how things got as bad as they did, but... sorry.
Her voice goes solemn.
I'm going to find out what happened to Captain Whiskers. I promise you that.
Captain Whiskers. Oh, right, the cat. The cat that ate it. Isabel apparently not responsible for the cat? Unclear. That'd be nice of you, Iz. I'd appreciate it. Almost bashfully, his gaze flits to the ground. He looks away, and color surges to his cheeks. Is this where he's going to admit that he has a crush? Are you going to confess your love to Isabel? Oh, and I've got something of an admission to make. She knows what's coming, except that's definitely not what's coming. She rolls her eyes. Look, I get it, Rom. You've always liked me. I hate to break it to you, but it was never that big of a secret, and I know that's why it... His eyes go wide. He raises his hands, palms out, and shakes his head. What? No, that's not it at all. I mean, you're a nice girl and all, but just... no. Color rushes to her cheeks. But then, what? My panic button. He flips his sleeve inside out, and you can see a blinking red LED embedded in the fabric. I tripped it when you broke in. The cops are on their way. But wait, don't freak out. I'll call them off for you. Oh. She shuffles her feet, looks away. Thanks. Hey, what are friends for? You just wait here. I'll go meet them in the hall and draw them off to another room. Shouldn't take 2 seconds. Oh, and it was nice catching up with you. Good luck with the whole memory thing. You're gonna need it. She nods mutely. Rhombus takes off at a run, then disappears down the hall. Alright, well. I'm not going to say that went well, but it went. Which is, you know, probably good. Hello, HKPF Captain. What's your deal? The police captain doesn't even bother to look down at you. She waves you off, an irritable expression on her face. Stand back, please. This is a police matter. It sure is. See you never. Why did I even talk to her? Why am I tempting fate by talking to the police officer? Get out. Get out before everything else goes wrong. Confirm and leave. Yes, confirm and leave. Just go. Just go. She's going to find the real cat killer. I hope she does. I hope Isabel uses this time well. Cat killers are the worst kind of scum. The bus trip back to Kai Tak is quieter than the ride in was. Your fellow passengers sit crumpled in their seats, barely moving, barely speaking. Their DECCON 2056 t-shirts hang loose on their frames, and their once cherished guest badges have been crumpled into their pockets. Post-con depression is setting in. You've seen more lively groups on their way to the morgue. Isabel looks up to you, her eyes full of the same post-con fatigue that you see in everyone else's. She gives you a small smile and taps her temple with a fingernail. You got what you came for. The show is over. It's time to go home. Alright. Well, personal quest has ended. Time to see what else is on deck. 8 karma. Nice. That is enough karma to get another etiquette. Alright, I don't know which of these is gonna be more helpful. Probably gang? I feel like socialite and academic are not etiquettes I am likely to have, although both of those would have been way useful more useful this event than gang etiquette. That said, security etiquette should have gotten me out of some of those jams. It's all completely random. You just have no idea what's going to help in any given situation. It's a roll of the dice. I'm just going to take gang etiquette. Gang tend to be least useful overall. Well, shrug. Do I want to get points in spirit summoning? I probably want to get points in conjuring. But, lightning barrier, air barrier, fire barrier, and hellstorm barrier. Okay. Well, good enough. Alright. I once again have the optional objective to get some rest. So let's go do that. And then we can go to a museum or something. Glaring orc. Who are you? A diminutive female orc regards you with a sharp, challenging look. The fierceness of her expression contrasts starkly with her sweet, rounded face and neat bob. She flexes her cyber fists. She fires off a rapid-fire reproach in a thick Filipino accent.
Why are you staring like that? Didn't anybody teach you manners?
I have no idea what a Filipino accent sounds like, so I'm just going to do some random accent. She plants her fists on her leather-clad hips and juts her chin out at you. Wow, she's looking for a fight. Sorry. She blinks and her jaw unclenches.
It's alright. I can tell you're a newcomer. I just feel a little protective of my part of town.
The orc looks you up and down. Finally, with a gruff nod, she introduces herself.
I'm Rosario Ignacio, or to the members of my community, Cherry Pink. I specialize in transport missions and nanny services, and I occasionally Shadowrun for walking around money. Can also fry up a mean batch of lumpia, but you can't have any unless I like you.
Cherry Pink is a hell of a street name. What the hell is lumpia? Good options here. Nanny? There's a lot going on here. And also Shadowrun. How do you go from babysitting to running the shadows? I feel like this is the best question to ask. Her cheeks flush.
Well, I used to take care of the children of a whooshing bigwig up in the peak. Turned out she was siphoning corporate funds to support both a gambling addiction and an extravagant lifestyle. She got sloppy, and I stumbled across some pretty damning documents as I was tidying the house. I couldn't unsee them much as I wished it, and I started to fear for my life. She was growing desperate, erratic. So I ran.
Didn't run too far. Why not leave Hong Kong?
I couldn't go back to Manila because of those JIS scumbags. But there's always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I sought them out.
Shadowrunning is less stressful than babysitting. That case could certainly be made. Happened in the Philippines that you can't go back.
The Japanese imperial state happened. Supposedly, they've been in charge there for decades. I was just a little girl when they sent their imperial marines in. They destroyed my old neighborhood. I don't remember the events, but I still dream of fire to this day.
Supposedly in charge?
The Japanese ran up against resistance from forces that came to be known as the Huck. Nationalists, neo-anarchists. But the resistance ultimately gets its backing from a dragon, Masaru. While the struggle continues, the country can't heal.
Never ever cut a deal with a dragon. You don't want to be a goblinoid under Imperial Japan? Yeah! I think you don't want to be anything less than less. Anything other than human or easily passing in Imperial Japan. Never ever cut a deal with a dragon. She shrugs.
Well, I haven't personally. I just want to be home somewhere.
Well, Haoi isn't so bad. At least the people are interesting. The orc smiles.
I agree. Perhaps you may deserve lumpia after all. No promises, though.
How'd you get your cyberware? There's always been a large... Oh, yeah. This is, She already mentioned this.
Always been a large community of Filipinos in the shadows. I reached out, and they all pitched in to set me up as a Shadowrunner. Now, whenever I land a good gig, I give most of my earnings away, giving back to the community.
Oh, nice. Elves and dwarves are second class, but at least they aren't sent to the Oni Island. There's an Oni Island. Of course there's an Oni Island. I should have known. I don't get why you give away your hard-earned money. Surely your debt's paid. I guess, I guess our boy the lever is not very community-minded? Sure.
It's not like paying a debt. Yes, there's always someone asking for a handout. Yet, one day it might be me in need again. Who knows when my luck will turn. But I know my community will have my back.
Sounds like a pretty good deal, actually. I could sure use a handout.
Don't work that way, chump.
Never hurts to ask. She huffs at you.
You never know. It might.
You said that you're a nanny? She nods enthusiastically.
Look around you. See these Shadowrunners and dealers of contraband and Johnsons? There's a fair number who have kids, though they wouldn't shout it from the rooftops. It's usually too dangerous to keep family close. That's where I come in.
Shadow nannies are a great idea. No more bringing my baby into combat situations. Imagine Lord of the Flies, but instead of children, you have trolls and orcs. So Australia? Is this sarcastic? Am I being sarcastic if I click this button? I really want to click this button. I like the idea of shadow nannies. The orc raises her chin proudly.
I've shuttled kids in and out of war zones. I've gone into hiding with little ones for months on end while their parents had to lie low. I've taught children good manners, hygiene, and the proper use of firearms for over 20 years.
Wait, you teach kids to use weapons?
I show them how to use weapons safely.
She jabs a finger at you for emphasis.
What's dangerous is not explaining their world to them. The shadows, that is. These kids have to grow up fast. Weapons training is appropriate when you're living in a smuggler's den.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Really glad that someone finally gets it. The gut reaction for most people is to deny the danger. The rest seem to think that children are too immature to step up to the challenge. Me, I trust my kids. I don't underestimate them. They never let me down.
Do you disagree, Kelvin? Street name? Cherry Pink?
It's a bona fide Filipino nickname. Unless you want a mouthful of fist, you'll show it respect.
What is lumpia? Tell me about lumpia.
Filipino spring rolls. Crispy and delicious and full of pork. Or whatever pork-flavored substitute is on sale. It's important to be frugal.
It's suddenly become very important to me that you like me. A corner of her mouth twitches upward. She gives you a sidelong glance.
Then you must earn it. Everybody wants to be my friend because everybody wants lumpia. Only a handful deserve it.
All right. Well, on your way then. That was certainly a interaction. If gun safety was a mandatory course in school, there'd be a lot less accidental discharges. I don't know about school, but yeah, gun safety should be a lot more important than it is. It should be a lot more emphasized than it is. Jin and Reliable Matthew. Is there anything else out here? Do we think that anything interesting has happened at 5 phases? I have an upgrade here, so that's good. Maybe that means that stuff has changed? Immediately upon entering, you notice the clutter. Somehow the small magic shop is even messier than before. Yo, things may have changed. Stacks and stacks of books occupy chairs, tables, and the tops of shelves. There seems to be even more than when you first visited. It is as if you just entered a paper factory, and it's spawning season. You mix in some metaphors there. You peer around a precariously arranged tower of books and find Crafty hungrily reading one of her mother's journals. Red rings her eyes, and tousled hair falls over her face. It looks like she hasn't seen the better part of a pillow in a couple days. She moves to stretch and spots you. With a quick flick of her hand, she marks her place in the journal.
What a welcome sight. Have you found anything?
I've completely forgotten what voice I gave Crafty. Wow. No idea. Alright, well, we're gonna do something with her, I guess. Should be done by school. Your sex ed class consisted of a 500-page essay that amounts to don't do it, and if you do anyway, use protection, but don't do it. Oh, at least they told you to use protection. That's good. At least it's not abstinence only. Australia isn't the only former British penal colony that exists. Oh. I guess that never occurred to me. Yeah, you're probably right. I believe you. But it's certainly the most famous one. Have you found anything? No, I've not found anything. A slow smile spreads across her cheeks. She nods. Yeah, I agree, Lunar Waffles. That is pretty good relative to the options, but that doesn't mean that objectively it's good.
This mind-numbing tedium is starting to pay off. Check this out. The dreams that everyone's having. They aren't really dreams. They're omens. From what I've gathered, we're walking a fine line here. They're pretty dangerous. Attempts to interpret them could lead to mixed results.
Tell me more.
You know, omens. Harbingers of doom and gloom and bad things to come.
Her mouth twists to the side as she thinks.
Just a minute.
Crafty opens a drawer behind the counter and brings out a dictionary. Clears her throat.
Omen. A sign that warns of future events by way of visionary creatures or hallucinations.
She closes the book with a thump. Oh. Omens. Why didn't you say so? And that means... I know what that means. I know what an omen is. It's fine. Alright, what causes them?
Apparently, these sorts of portents are commonly linked with malign places and disaster sites. They're caused by leakage through wounds between our world and the astral plane.
Wounds. Wounds between the worlds. Ah, that is a set of words. What's causing these wounds? Can we stop it? I think that's what I want to do. I think I'm okay with stopping wounds. That sounds like a good idea. So... It's fringe? It might be. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure we can. At least I haven't found anything about that in my mother's text yet. We don't want to dive into this haphazardly, the lever. Remember, these omens can be dangerous.
Dangerous? I don't like dangerous. I mean, I guess tell me more about dangerous. She holds up a finger and starts digging around for another text. After a moment, she locates a small notepad and flips to a dog-eared page.
In here, it says these visions, or dreams, or whatever you want to call them, are real. They're open to interpretation, but interpreting them incorrectly can be disastrous. Astral space is a place of dream logic. Taking the things you see too literally can be even more dangerous than ignoring them.
Sounds like the best outcome would be for us to interpret a dream correctly. If it were me, I would simply provide a correct interpretation. Rip to everyone else, but I'm different.
Using that term loosely, yes. But there's no real correct way to interpret a dream, and it's difficult to separate the nonsense from the substance.
Can you interpret the dreams? Crafty plunks the notepad on top of a nearby book tower.
I can't help you interpret your dreams. Whatever they're trying to impart, it's beyond me. All I can do is keep reading. There has to be something in this library that can help us understand what's happening.
Keep it up. Every bit helps. She stifles a yawn.
Yep, I'm on it.
Alright, what you got for sale? Are things updated? We can get up to Acid Bolt 3 now. Yo. I like 3. That's way more than 1. Hook me up. New outfits as well. Armor 6. 6 is a lot of armor. Maybe we can find better outfits, though. Mana static. Oh, everything is expensive now. Why? Why would you do this? Do you have heals? You still no heals. Can I not have heals? Am I not a person that is allowed to heals peoples? I guess it's a reason to keep bringing Gobbet around. Maybe it's a spell instead? Is heal a spell? Heal wound. Yep, there it is. Requires spellcasting 2. Heck. Alright, I guess I do have a reason to keep bringing Gobbet around. AP1 cooldown 2 versus AP1 cooldown 3. I see. I understand now why you might want a different heal wound spell. Okay. Well, are there better options here than the Acid Bolt? You don't really have a lot of offensive options as a shaman, do you? I guess you get barriers. 10 HP damage for people entering the fire barrier. Medium cover barriers. Dope. Lightning is 7 HP and 1 AP. Shadow Zone, in which characters cannot be targeted nor target others. Neat. Area effect spell that increases the cost of magic by 1 AP. Brutal. The walls can be offensive. Yeah, I guess if positioned right. Can I guarantee being able to summon it? That's a good question. I have not looked into the elemental fetishes. Might be worth it to have one around at some point, but possession of this fetish grants a benefit of +1 willpower and +1 spellcasting. I think I would rather have a spirit fetish, but that's really cool. If I were going to be summoning spirits, which I haven't been lately. So I guess we'll stick with Acid Bolt 3, and then be on the lookout for barriers of some kind at some point in the future when I have more money. Fire Barrier seems pretty good. Lightning Barrier seems more fun, though. The AP damage is always good. And then Haste 3 is probably worth getting, but we're sticking with Acid Bolt for now. The buffs help a lot? Yeah, I know the haste buffs really help. And then I can sell this, because it doesn't matter. Make a little bit of my money back. Well, thanks, Crafty. See you soon. Alright, we also have bonuses over here, which is cool. Giving a drone decker an extra AP is sweet. Yeah, it's true. Gobbet's Rat Totem Invocation does 99 damage to any hostile spirit. That's cool. So even if I do lose a spirit, it's easy to deal with. Steel Spirit. Ooh, Steel Spirit. I don't know which of these I care about more. Both of them seem cool. Destroying a spirit is going to be more generally useful, but Steel Spirit will be higher value in the situations where it is useful. So do we want something more general or something with a higher ceiling? And then once it's under my control, I have to worry about it breaking free of my control instead of breaking free of their control. Which seems like a thing that happens pretty regularly. I'll probably just take the Destroy Spirit instead, so I can deal with stuff that I lose. Sabotage. Steady Shot. Pistol ability that increases accuracy by 30% and critical chance by a small amount for one shot. Blech. For 2 AP? Why would I do that? Mark Target. Weak points in opponent armor. Mark Target ability now reduces the target's armor by 1. Okay. I use Mark Target. I'll take that. Mercy Kill. Assault rifle ability that has 99% chance to hit an enemy who has less than 25% HP remaining. Plus 2 damage. So extra damage and guaranteed hits against weaker enemies. No extra AP cost. That's pretty good. Subdue. Subdue has its cooldown reduced from 3 rounds to 2 rounds. We're not using Subdue that often. I'll take Mercy Kill. Shuriken. Ranged ability. A quick shuriken toss. 12 HP, 1 AP. Sick. Spit. Spitting infected saliva into the target's face ignores all armor. Damage 8. And a 4 damage dot for 2 rounds. I would rather have the AP damage than the extra 4 damage, I think. Is that true? Face mask would be armor effective against spit. You can't even equip face masks in this game. It's not an option. Your outfit doesn't include a mask. I guess they're both effectively the same kind of ranged ability. It's just a question of 12 damage and 1 AP damage versus 16 damage and ignore armor. I do like AP damage, but we're not doing a whole lot of AP damage regardless. So I feel like this isn't going to pan out super well for me. It's not like I have a lightning mage on hand. So I think I just take spits. Armor can be a massive pain. It can. I think I just take the spit. What's up, Raptor? Shotgun mount. Auto shotgun attachment, which deals an additional 2 damage at the cost of minus 5% accuracy. Can hit adjacent targets at ranges of 6 or greater. Neat. And then Mangler? Mounted saw blade arm in the melee systems. The attack's critical chance is greatly boosted. Oh. So this is a separate ability. No. This is... Maybe this is a separate ability. So you can use the regular shot, and then you can also use the shotgun mount at the same... And you can choose which one you're doing. This uses extra ammo, but doesn't have a separate cooldown. This has a separate cooldown from their melee. So just every other melee, or every other turn, their melee can be extra critty. With no downside. Well, I do like the melee powers. I feel like this is going to be a bigger impact. Like, plus 2 damage on the shotgun is a big deal. Being able to crit more often, maybe that's also a big deal. Yeah, maybe that's also a big deal. Okay, cool. Settled. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go take a nap. Or actually check the computer, and then take a nap. Maybe go talk to people? Talk to Dunk? New messages? Urgent task. Little birds have been whispering in my ear about an urgent and high-paying run. Steel Arm Lou, a red pole. I guess red pole and yellow lotus and all the triads are different colors. Managed to get his hands on information concerning a prototype laser weapon in development by Ares Asia Holdings. Oh, really? You want me to hit Ares, do you? For years, the Yellow Lotus and the Red Dragon have been locked in a Cold War. Wait. What's a red pole, then? This Red Dragon sounds like something else. Despite this, we remain evenly matched. Neither one of us can attack the other without being exposed to devastating reprisals. Liu wants to change this, and he has a plan. I like plans. Rather than strike directly, Liu intends to aim external forces at the Red Dragon, specifically Knight Errant. He intends to frame a white paper fan named Golden Fong. Everybody's got colors in their names, making it appear that the Red Dragon have been bribing Ares researchers for classified data. 2 leading drone and energy weapons researchers have recently transferred from London to Hong Kong and are running the project. Oh, Ractor, we gotta talk about this. Doctors Taylor and Hardingham it's them, were respected in Europe, but in Hong Kong they remain unknown quantities. They're untrusted and therefore are considered untrustworthy. Perfect targets, in other words. We will provide data that will make it look as if the researchers were contacted by Golden Fong and made quite a bit of money, but grew tired of the arrangement. Transfer the attached files to a data chip. The files are bundled with a worm program, which will auto-execute when inserted into the appropriate systems. You need not bring a Decker, though one may be helpful. You'll need to plant the data in the visitor record system, the camera systems in Hardingham Taylor's lab. Financial data is to be transferred to Dr. Taylor's personal terminal. That, in and of itself, will not be enough to ensure knight-errant involvement, however. Planting the data is only the first part of your task. This is where a heavier touch will be required. You will also need to steal the prototype laser weapon. There is a GPS tracking device attached to it, which Liu will plant deep in Red Dragon territory. The apparent theft of a prototype weapon by a disgruntled Triad member should convince Ares to dispatch overwhelming force against the Red Dragon, dealing them a vicious blow. As a note, Liu does not care what becomes of the laser weapon. If you wish to sell it or keep it, feel free. I've also attached a map of your extraction route from the building. During the facility's expansion in 2052, Ares Asia was forced to extend their foundations deeper into the island. They drove piles through the former site of the central MTR station, which partially collapsed during the Dalu Bay earthquake of 2044. Practically, this means that you can exit through the basement, directly onto the new MTR line through Central. With any luck, you can be gone without anyone knowing how. Oh, that's nice. Unfortunately, this route is heavily alarmed, so you will be forced to go in the front door. If you can con the front desk, you should have no problems. The facility is both an office and a residence, so strange people coming and going at odd hours is not unusual. If you're not up to fast talk, however, be prepared to shoot your way in. I'm up to fast talk. I can talk fast. Liu doesn't care if you're loud or quiet, but a word of caution. He came by all of this information via the loose lips of one of the research team. Other fixers know of this job. Move fast and you're guaranteed success, but there are definitely other Shadowrunners with an eye on your prize. Oh, I'll take the run. Very well. Steel Arm Liu sends his regards and bids you good fortune and plentiful ammunition. The dramatic git. Don't die, the lever. Our arrangement has been very profitable so far, and I would hate to lose that. Restaurant job? One of the things I've learned over the years is that even the rich and powerful have annoyances. Thorns in their side, if you will. No one is without troubles, the rich just have different ways of solving them. The client for this run has grown tired of one particular thorn in his side. Chung Sing Rooster Lo. Lo is a red pole for one of the smaller triads here in Hong Kong. The 289s, or the Easy Money Gang, if you prefer. What is a red pole? Can I just, file that away as other gang? There's a lot of terminology getting thrown around here. Despite the 289's small stature, Lowe's illegal activities have managed to damage the client's profits. Mr. Johnson would like you to help him show Lowe the error of his ways. Lowe takes an evening every few months to dine at the Shangri-La restaurant in Aberdeen. If you aren't aware, the Shangri-La is an elite establishment, serving primarily corporate clientele from Wuxing Incorporated. Because of this, it's not unusual for diners to bring in bodyguards or assistants with them. In Lowe's case, he brings a particularly brutish enforcer known as the Talon, and undoubtedly feels well protected. You're going to prove just how wrong he is in this regard. You are to kidnap Rooster Lowe. So long as he is alive and in relatively good health, all options are on the table. While keeping the run quiet would make things easier for Mr. Johnson, no one will shed too many tears over a few dead triad thugs. The client has arranged an exit via boat. So long as you can get low from the interior to the restaurant's dock, the client will handle everything else. Good job, the client. Despite being a red pole, Lowe is a tactician, not a fighter. Don't expect him to put up much of a fight. The Talon, on the other hand, is as nasty as they come. Be careful about how you confront him, or things may go very badly. I think I am not yet ready to take on that quest. I might, but it's also like, random rich person wants me to hassle a local triad member? I guess it's another one of those situations where nobody's really in the right. Like, you have a random rich person who definitely got their wealth via exploitation and is probably not a good person. And then you have, like, random local triad member who probably not a good person. I mean, it's Shadowrun, who are good people. Nobody. So it's like, alright, if one of them wants to pay me to harass the other one, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. I think this job does not go against my morals terribly harshly. But we have plenty of other jobs to access right now. So now I have this pending job, restaurant and geomantic sabotage. Both restaurant job I'll probably take. Geomantic sabotage I'm not quite as sanguine about. And then there's also the active jobs, of which I have several, one of which is an urgent task. So that's probably where we're going next after I tell Ractor about it. Shadowland connection established successfully. Here we go. Relevant keywords. Oh my god, so many Shadowland stacks? Threads? Stacks? Threads. Typhoon warning. This newscast just aired. If anyone wants to watch real-time isobar data or Earthsat images of the storm, the basic service paywall on Skywatcher imagery is easily circumvented. The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation, as Tropical Storm Usagi has grown into a full-strength typhoon, Category 3, in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi has formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this growing trend of awakened cold season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the eastern Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convective over cooler ocean waters. I love these, like, news programs that bring up this, like, you know, entirely normal reasoning and also magic. The newscaster looks down at her notes. According to the official release by Lance Inroki of the IJMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Awakened storms exhibit anomalous physical and magical behavior. Many experts believe they show reactive intelligence, and possibly even self-awareness, and will resist making landfall to prolong their lives, even holding position against prevailing winds. Study of these storms is inhibited by their extreme environmental conditions and astral turbulence. In physical strength, Usagi may peak as a violent typhoon, Category 5 on the Eastern Pacific scale, but will weaken substantially before making landfall. Although mariner lore is replete with tales of malicious storms, scientists have detected no provable animosity towards metahumans in the behavior of these miracles of nature. Learn more on Wild Storms of the Pacific, this week's episode of Savage Nature, with host Bertrand Madoniker. The Guangdong coast will likely have a long precursor battering, with drenching rains but moderate winds as Usagi stalls offshore. Usagi is one of the more powerful storms of the season, but it is not unusual. Usagi does not have super typhoon potential. This is going to be perfect. A long, soft hit by Usagi. Lots of electromag interference. Security and cops all tied up. It's running season. Sure, take advantage of the natural disaster. Hope everybody's ready for a high operational tempo. Our fixer's already scrambling for crews. I heart storms. Nice. Verse Smack, he's trying again. Again with a poetry slam. He's trying again. Come one, come all, and welcome to what could very well be the last Shadowland Poetry Slam. There's something kind of sad about that. End of an era. In honor of Jivebert, I created an expert system that writes haikus. It takes whatever's being said in a thread and turns it into a poem. Mind if I fire it up? Snozzy! You shouldn't have. What kind of poetry slam includes bots? This is lame. Listen, if the bot writes better poetry than you, I think you should be mad for other reasons. Homage to Jivebert. The program stirs, churns out text. 3 lines mar the piece. Jivebot. Nice. That's brilliant. Now I can hang up my quill. I really don't buy that a bot can produce poetry like a living, breathing, feeling human being. Sorry. Why are you so mad about this? Despair grips the poets. A machine crafting haikus. The Jivebot breaks free. The new streamers complaining about booby streamers. Yeah, alright. Oh, is the Jivebot not supposed to break free? Was that supposed to happen? The slam is now slammed. This program has broken loose. Pandemonium. Well, look on the bright side. How much damage can a runaway poetry bot do anyway? This was exactly the outcome that Sysop wanted to prevent by banning poetry slams. The hunt continues. It's the same newscaster. It's always the same newscaster. Short clip of Trid News broadcast begins playing. And despite their efforts, no one has yet to come forward. The government of Henan has denied all connection with the terrorist fugitives, even going so far as to state that the White Star organization no longer exists. There has still been no word from the HKPF on the whereabouts of the fugitive terrorists. The mood on the streets is nervous. There is no telling when or where these terrorists will strike. For now, the Special Duties Unit of the HKPF remains on active alert, ready to respond at a moment's notice. This is Sunny Chung with Horizon News, signing off. What a load of crap. How are they going to convince us a bunch of crazy terrorists got into the Fez and just disappeared under their noses, huh? This would have never happened if Lone Star was the sole police force here. We got Lone Star apologists in this thread? Unbelievable. I think these games are fun, Caliban. It's probably worth giving them a shot. Sure, because heavily armed terrorists never sneak into Lone Star cities like Chicago and Seattle, only to disappear and remain free to roam the streets after they engage in public gun battles. Sounds like you're referencing some specific scenarios, Heavenshot. There's no way Henan is connected to these people. If they really were White Star, they'd have struck already. Their entire MO is suicide bombings and civilian casualties. If these people are hiding, they're probably on the wrong side of a setup. Hey, somebody knows what's going on. Sure, because everybody in the shadows is just some bleeding heart fighting the megas because they believe in freedom. Grow the hell up. Dongjang. I thought we were friends. I didn't think we were friends. I've seen you post once before, and I wasn't impressed with you even then. Continue to not be impressed by Dongjang. Looking for Taylor for special job. For some unusual custom work. Might know a guy. Is this for armor? Not exactly. It's a surprise birthday gift for a friend. A friend's drone, actually. Ratstar123. Is this Gobbit? This is probably Gobbit. Buying stuff for Koshé. What exactly do you want to tailor to make for a drone? A cat costume. with soft little ears and paws. Oh my god, Koshé would be adorable. Or better yet, a bear suit. Ooh, or a red samurai outfit. I even have reference that I can provide. This is definitely Gobbit. Okay. You got a fat stack of Nuyen? This is gonna cost. I'll find the Nuyen. Can you help me? This will be so worth it. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Great. Alright, well, I'm excited to see, Koshé in a cute cat outfit. Can't get a flight to Seattle. Hey, I've got a problem I'm hoping one of you can help with. I came out to the Fez 2 weeks ago for work. Now that the job is wrapped, I've been trying to get an under-the-table flight to Seattle for the past week. Off the books, no passport control, that kind of thing. Nobody's making the trip. What gives? Check the news feeds, man. Haven't you heard? Seattle is on lockdown. Nothing coming into or out of the city without a thorough search for at least another week. They caught some smugglers trying to move some really nasty stuff in through a covert landing at Discovery Park. Seems like a bit of an overreaction. Tons of awful stuff moves through Seattle every day. What's so different about this time? Not like this. You didn't hear it from me, but I have some friends with ICE. They say whatever it was, it set off the radiological alarms of the Coast Guard ship that was sweeping the area. We're talking fissionable material here, enriched and ready to go in a bomb. Oh, somebody's building bombs in Seattle? Please don't build bombs in Seattle. No way. I don't buy that for a second. More likely, some corp had an accident with one of their ships and dumped some radiological material. They just don't want to admit it, so City Hall is covering their asses. That actually fits pretty well. Don't dismiss the news so lightly. The smugglers were carrying cargo for Winter Night. It's only pure luck the cargo was intercepted at all. Oh, I've heard of Winter Night. They figured in the first game a little bit. Who the hell is Winter Night? Sounds like a goblin rock band. Why is it gotta be a goblin rock band? Anybody can do metal. You don't gotta be a goblin to like metal. Not who, what. All you need to know is this. Winter Night is bad news. You cross them, they destroy your life. Ever run into any of them on a job? I suggest a solution that comes in 7.62mm. They were, in fact, problematic the one time I ran into them. Or at least they were problematic for their employee. Hi there. Just arrived in HK from CFS and want to meet other runners from the Philippines. Salamat po. Anyone? 8/14/56. I make really good pancit. Well, why didn't you say so right away? Kumusta Pokayo. Lots of former Huck families here. Former Huck families? Oh, that's a call-out. Welcome, says Princess Rays. Is that, what's her face? Cherry Pink? Hi. Taga-san ka? Me from Manila. I'm a Decker. You? QC here. I'm a Decker too. Pancit is fine and good, but can you also make dinuguan? PM me if you can. Kumusta? Ah, they're all coming out of the woodwork. Nice to meet you, QC Blues. Hi there, Street Mage here. Might know some Pinoy runners looking for a new Decker. Wow, lots of people here. Big thread, lots of people, much activity. Very community. Wow. Alright, so the next step I think is to talk to people. And, you know, talk to Isabel about the results of the run, and talk to Ractor and tell him about the new thing that we found. But, as I am still exhausted, I was exhausted when the stream starts, and I'm still exhausted. I think I'm going to call it a little early tonight, instead of continuing to go and do more dialogue stuff. Dialogue continues to be exhausting. I gotta, like, if I'm going to do VNs, I need to manage my stream time better. change my expectations for what these streams are going to look like if I'm doing like a lot of reading and voice acting for the streams, because that definitely takes a toll on me. It's not easy to keep going for like the full 5 hours. Like I could maybe do like 3 hours straight before I start to feel it. And I feel like at that point, like, the stream quality suffers. I don't think I'm going to be quite as entertaining if I'm that tired, or if I try to go that long. So, purely for the purpose of making it an entertaining stream, I feel like it should be shorter streams. I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to do that for this, but it is a thing that I will be considering. Anyway, yeah, I think this is, we're going to do a save, and we're going to call it here.